Welcome to Snowmobile Sessions Live on YouTube and your favorite podcast platforms. It's the #1 destination to learn about snowmobiling, network with other sledders, and have an awesome time doing it. We'll meet other snowmobilers that share your passion and show your fan photos along the way. Snowmobile Sessions Live. Enjoy the ride.
Hang on is right. Today we have Steve Hayward. You may not know who he is right now, but by the end of the podcast, you're going to be like this because I I don't think I've had a guest as colorful as you and as that have sent me such a wide variety of topics to discuss. And I guess I should preempt this by saying how I found you. I don't dig too deep into the nether reasons of Facebook, but I sometimes you get people saying dumb things on Facebook, and then you have people commenting, the logical answers to those things. And Steve had made a point, and then somebody was actually kind of trying to argue with him, and then someone else stuck up for Steve and said something about SnowTrax, and I went, why don't I know this guy? And I reached out to Steve, and then I asked him if he'd be on the podcast, and he said, I don't know, can you call me? And then what happened, Steve?
Well, I needed to find out which side of the fence you were on. I don't need to get beat up in front of a live audience.
We talked for an hour, and then you said to me, okay, you passed the test, send me the links.
I don't know if I was that harsh, but no, I wanted to have an idea of what the flow was.
Yeah, no, I said it to you. We have a really good group of guys, girls, passionate riders. They love the sport, and they're really not nefarious and don't say anything bad and negative to our guests. And if they do, we have moderators like Corey Brock and Drew will throw them out, right? So, but just to give you an idea, Elder says, Sled Ed, this is going to be awesome. I remember watching him back in the 90s. And Lepoinski says, hey there, fellas, Sled Ed, wow, going to be fun. I mean, this is just one part of Steve's life, which I can't wait to get into. But for the people that may not know who you are, just tell us a little bit about, what you're all about. We have photos to kind of talk about later, so we can't let it all out of the bag. But yeah, who is Steve Hayward?
I'm just a guy that I discovered snowmobiling. It was quite accidentally. I guess that's how we all did. It was back in the early '60s, and friends of my father had this new skidoo, and they said, you got to come check this thing out. So I went down. We went down. They were down near Guilford, and I'm looking at this thing, and I'm going, it's kind of odd. And it's the engine in the middle, and your legs around the engine, and you're going, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird. But I mean, I looked at it and I thought, well, it's going to be sort of like a garden tractor on snow. It's not going to go that fast. It's just going to be able to get over top of the snow. And I got put on the back, and the guy got it going and hit the throttle, and my life was altered right there. Went a lot faster than I thought it was going to. It felt a little risky, but at the same time, it was awfully exhilarating. So it made a big impression on me. So, and the year following, family friends brought up a brand new snow cruiser, or as they're fondly called, snow crushers. And
Snow Crusher.
that was the first machine that I drove on my own. And you got a picture there somewhere of me with a trailer on with three of my friends in the back, and that was up near Nobleton. We're having a great time, and it made a huge impression on me. So then there was the the pathetic pleading after that for my father to see if we could get one in our family. And in Christmas of '67, Dad showed up with a brand new Super Olympic 16 horsepower, and that was quite a thrill. Amazing, a lot of fun. How far do you want me to? Do you want me to keep going, or do you want to break?
Yeah, like just and then quickly from there, like you've got a lot of media experience, especially you got great pictures behind you, which we're going to show the story about that plane that's behind you um, in the photos. But
Yeah.
talk a bit of the soapbox, kind of how you went from your first, Super Olympic to the media side of things.
Well, I mean, I was an active snowmobiler, and I was back in the day, of course, when trails weren't existent. There was lots of things that weren't being done very well. There were people that had a flask on them, or a wineskin and a pair of side cutters, and they went out and they went riding. They cut a fence. I mean, it was crazy. It was the Wild West out there, and it became apparent quickly that there needed to be some kind of control, and a trail system established of sorts. And I got to grow up and see that happening in fits and starts. There was little clubs like Nobleton had a snowmobile club, Schaumburg had a snowmobile club, Aurora probably did. I'm not aware of it, but there was these little clubs. There was just no connectivity, and some of these clubs were out doing good things, and some of these clubs were a social event where people shouldn't have been riding or driving after that event. It was pretty crazy back in those days.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, I enjoyed snowmobiling a lot. If we fast forward to a few years, I was a liquor salesman, and that's how I met John Massenberg. And John and I worked together, and we used to snowmobile together. He rode an Arctic Cat Pantera, and I had a Polaris TX, and we had a lot of fun. And that's how he and I ended up getting together with a snowmobile television show a number of years down the road after that. Almost probably 15 years after that, we started riding together. Yeah. That and $2 will buy a bad coffee.
Yeah.
um,
But I think the rest we can talk about in the photos coming up, because you went from there to ATV, TV and media production, and you're a drone pilot as well, I understand. And yeah, so the pretty colorful life you've led there.
well, it's my problem is basically I'm unemployable, so I have to work for myself. No one will put up with me.
Yeah. I can almost relate to that. Just kind of hanging on to a job by a thread.
Yeah, it's not easy. Yeah, school wasn't easy for me.
No,
Yeah.
no. It's pretty crazy. But do you want to do a roll call before we get into the photos, Drew?
Oh my gosh. What's our choice for today? Oh, a happy holidays card.
We
is
got
our
that's our
choice.
most. We got to get an official mouse pad.
You know what I went to the post office for? I've been waiting for a custom one I ordered like a month ago for us, but it hasn't shown up.
Oh
My
my
phone, the
God.
same place I get my phone cases from, ships a phone case in 2 days, but a mouse pad's like lost in shipping. I'm
Yeah,
kinda
they
pissed.
don't know what a mouse is anymore.
So I'm kind of pissed, but
That's all right.
anyways.
We'll get it.
Vet Fan 1967, Ron Castellute, Uncle Buck 9774, Iron Moose. We got Tim Weiss in here as well. Michael DeJulio, Corey Brock as always. Chris Watson's in the chat. Olive Garden Gnome Renegade X, Doug Patterson, Elder Santos, Just Fly Low, and Lepoinski so far. A lot of people in the chat are bringing up things about sled ed.
You can read a few of them for sure.
Ron Kessler said, I was just talking to my son, that's 31 now. He says he remembers seeing the sled ed things.
And yours, read yours.
Yeah, I said sled ed was even shown to me at the OFSC training course only 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, highlight of my youth, watching sled ed.
That's very cool. Very cool. There'll be more coming in as we get going here, so just run that. And that is brought to you by... Tired of dealing with worn out carbines and scratchers that just won't scratch your itch? You deserve better. It's time to upgrade your ride with Quali Pieces. Quali Pieces is the leader in specialized snowmobile accessories, bringing you innovative products that solve the everyday problems we all face on the trails. From their durable, long-lasting carbines, Trailblazer ice scratchers, to their ingenious roller ski, Quali Pieces has redefined quality and performance. Have a taste of their specialized carbines at qualipieces.com and take your snowmobile to the next level. Right on.
Alrighty.
Yeah. Drew actually tried a different model of Quali Pieces carbide last week.
Yes. Yeah, I don't actually have any pictures of that, guys, but I did swap. I've been running the Quali Pieces Trek for 3 seasons now since I had the 2018 850. And then when I got the 600R, I was thinking I wanted to try something different anyways. And the one up on the aggressive scale is the Mission. So I wanted to give that a shot. And so far, I'm absolutely loving it. A little bit heavier steering, but it darts a little bit less, and it's a lot more direct. So I'm really enjoying that carbide so far. So we'll see how its durability is in comparison to the Trek. I don't think we're gonna have any issues because I ran the same set of Treks for 2 seasons, and even through those crappy years. So
yeah. The other thing I want to say is that we ran the Woodies, the dualies.
Yeah.
And every ride you pretty much get them plugged up, those dual runners.
the dual runners, like you'll get, let's say you're on like a road section, like a gravel section, you'll get like a stone or something, and it'll go in between the carbide because the carbide's so hot on the pavement. And then as soon as you hit snow, it all freezes inside the runner, and then you have no carbide left. It's just like a flat piece. It's happened every single ride when we were running those Woody's dualies on our curve skis. So far, I've not had the Missions do that. It was his concern when we got them, but I'm happy to report that it doesn't happen with those skis.
Yeah, we did 421K, and for sure the Woodies would have plugged up. So
it's usually at night when it's cold, really cold in the air, and the snow is like really getting really cold as well.
And we were minus 30.
And we did road running as well.
Yeah. So no, it was pretty good. So
I've got a concept for you.
Sure.
Stop running over stones.
Yeah, we're in Ontario. It's hard not to.
Yeah.
Well, you're Northern Ontario, so you don't understand right now what we're doing.
Understand what? Road running?
We will we will actually ride mud just to get out on the sleds. You know us, right?
Oh.
So yeah, but I'm gonna actually call up the photos because we got a ton.
We got a ton from guests as
from
well.
you, and we got a few from guests. So just let me run this spot from Fast Track, and then we'll get right into the photos and learn more about Steve Hayward. Fan photos are brought to you by Fast Track Snowmobile Traction. This season, quit sliding sideways on the ice and losing races to your buddies. A Fast Track stud kit will help you with improved braking and give you the arm-ripping acceleration you crave. I put over 3,000 clicks last season on my Renegade 850, and I'll tell you, these studs exceeded my expectations. Not one broken stud, my idle wheels still look like new, and they hooked up like I was on rails in the twisties, inspiring confidence every ride. Fast Track Top Gun kits are the highest rated stud kit at 4.9 stars with over 230 reviews. The studs are heat treated stainless so they are strong and they don't rust. The kit is lighter, easier on the track, and has a lifetime warranty against breaking. Each kit comes with a track-specific template for complete balance with over double the scratch lines from stock templates. All listeners when purchasing a stud kit can get a free install kit, a $30 value. Visit fasttrack.co, add both products to the cart, and use the coupon code SNOW at the checkout. That's fasttrac.co. All right.
Excellent.
There you go.
Alrighty, so let's get into it. So we're going to get into our photos first, and then, see, we're way off to the side. The camera's... Can you adjust the camera while I start? Because look at
sure.
it, I'm cut off. There we go. Did a couple additions to my 600R that I picked up a couple weeks ago. We put the LJE safety signal lights on the front there. Great little product. I love how it easily sticks
Yeah, keep going.
Yeah.
Keep
I like,
talking.
I like how it just sticks on. It's nice that you can transfer it between sleds. We ran this on our demo mock Z last year, so it was nice that we were able to just take it and put it on this sled because yeah, I wanted the signal lights. I'm not about to go drop $250 at BRP right now. That's just showing the wiring of it all up to the button on the handlebars, which I really like the button for it because it shows you what color you're on. And also it remembers what color you're on too, unlike the BRP ones. Also added the whiteout lights, which have been sitting in a box for a year. When we had LJE on our show, he sent us a literal massive box of stuff, giveaway items and such. And those kind of just sat after I put the adventure bumper on the 850. There just wasn't a point of having them on it because they'd be covered.
It
so
wouldn't fit. It wouldn't fit between the bumper and the body. But
yeah.
man, I wasn't sure when I put him on. I'm going, yeah, we'll throw him on because I mean he was generous enough to supply them for us. And then as soon as we turned them on, we went, wowza, they're super bright. Like we got my new B2 Stinger LEDs to go in there. These LEDs are in there are garbage.
Amazon
but
specials.
But they're brighter than the LEDs, so it's pretty bad.
And there's the switch for it on the dash that we put in.
So yeah, we're really happy with that 600R. Performed really well this weekend.
So this was our first trail experience. Using the 600R as a bit of a utility sled. We had to go fix some trail stakes that were knocked over by a side-by-side, which we brought up last week on the show. And there's the shot of the two tire marks, very clearly on purpose, running over the stakes. We were very disappointed to see this, especially because this whole week we've been trying to get the trails open. So we went out on Tuesday and set the stakes back up, pounded some new ones in. Yeah, and then you wanted to bring up this from...
Yeah, and this goes on that topic we talked about last week, and we did, when Amy was on, talk about the Hillsburg post that Corey put up and showing the trail to the left there, and then this blatant disregard to it on the right. This is one of two pictures that I seen last week like this, and that was my whole point. And I know Steve, you and I talked about it too. Is the chatter at the beginning of the year was OFSC's underfunded and needs to raise the money. They raise the permit prices. They didn't get the approval to raise them, so we're going to lose. What was it? 4,000 or 7,000
like
10,000 trail,
10,000
7,000 kilometers of trail. Let's say, I'm paraphrasing, and people started bickering, and then we finally get it back. We get a boost from the Ontario government. We get them back, and my whole point is, like, let's appreciate it and let's appreciate landowners. You don't be a jackass like this, right? Like this is not acceptable.
Yeah, this example here, I mean, you have what you have. I mean, I could throw a drone in the air in some fields around here and it's like chaos. They're not 25 feet off the trail. They're all over the field. They're,
Yeah.
it can get pretty bad. Land use agreements are delicate. We need to respect them. When you're driving across someone's property, in a way, it's no different than visiting them in their own house. Let's respect the fact that we're able to use it and cherish and not put that at jeopardy. We need to go out and have a good time and not at the expense of others.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think this year is more than ever, just getting the trails back, so to speak, that's just a horrible thing. Like it reddens my ass when I see that. Wendy Terry says, hi, Kuana. You remember the trapper's cabin in the Yukon? Now there's a story. All right.
Oh my God.
Hey, why is she calling you Kuhana?
Well, for one thing, that'll be the charming lady's husband.
Oh, okay. That'd be Terry.
And yeah, he calls me the Big Kahuna, and his nickname is Tinkerbell.
Nice.
Yeah. So we were on an Arctic trip with SnowTrax. It was mind altering in many ways, and the trapper's cabin was like no one's going to believe it. I mean, you're in the middle of nowhere. We get there, and we coined it the cabin of death. I mean, there was stuff, there was pelts everywhere. There was carcasses outside that had been skinned and they weren't disposed of. They were left there. There is, this is at the mouth of the Mackenzie River. There's a fish up there. If you look it up, it's called a coney, and it looks a little bit like a carp, except it's got teeth on it, like a barracuda. It's not a welcoming looking fish. And they had a guard dog outside the trapper's cabin, and they would throw it a complete fish, like frozen Arctic style, and the fish would be devoured by the dog. The dog wasn't having a great life. But yeah, that was quite something. And the facilities were a 5-gallon white plastic pail with a plastic bag inside of it behind a shower curtain. And probably, I don't know, 10 of us in this cabin, of which one was a lady.
Oh, no.
Debbie Burke was there. And I got up and we're eating interesting food. I think that's a fair thing to say. You know, we were having all sorts of we were taking in the Arctic experience. And the next morning I went, I'm not using that bucket. So out I go and pretty much get my tail frozen to the side of a steel boat out in a snowdrift. Yeah. And it was minus 40.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, no, that was quite something. So that's there you go.
That's cool.
Thanks for bringing that up, Tinkerbell.
Yeah. He's me mad you shared his nickname, I'm telling you. Yeah. Back to the photos here. Yeah, this is just one of we left. We're loving our new place because we actually opened up the garage door and hopped on the sleds and drove right to meet our buddy Brad. And this is just one of the stops along the way where we stopped to get some pictures of the sleds and the nicely groomed trails.
I like this comment. We'll bring that up in a second.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so it was kind of cool in that.
Oh,
sense, so.
Iron Moose, welcome to the membership program. Thank you very much.
Oh, crap. Thank you so much. I love that, Iron Moose. Thank you so much. That's great. Yeah, the membership is gonna and buy more parts is awesome. And I'll get you one of these. If you go to the buy more parts level of members, you get.
You haven't even brought up this.
Yeah,
whole
we're gonna bring
though.
that up when we get the Brad stuff. So, you get a free shirt every year when you buy more parts.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and member only videos, which you got some good ones coming up actually. So.
Yeah, so
you're gonna be happy.
Yeah, so we did. We started from here at our place in Drumbo. We hit the trails. You met up with, our good buddy Paul met us here on his 900 Ace non-turbo, which I didn't even know they still made those. It was a brand new non-turbo 900 Ace. I was actually surprised they still even made those. Met us here, rode all the way out to wherever the heck Brad lives, Brad's place.
Yeah. Oh, Milverton.
Area. We met Brad, our good buddy Patterson, and John, our whatever.
Yeah, John,
with the Polaris.
Yep. And he showed up and he goes, "Oh man, am I the only guy on a Polaris here?" And there was like 6 of us, and it's like, yeah, but don't worry, we're okay with it.
I still love his story that he went to the pin that my dad. He followed a pin that my dad dropped on the snowmobile trail. Pulls up to this farm.
I called it Brad's pad on the GPS.
Right?
Thinking he was going to ride his sled there.
Pulls up in his truck with his sled in the back, gets out of his truck. There's a fella at the barn or at the farm, goes up to the fella and goes, "Are you Brad?" And the guy looks at him funny and goes, "Yeah, I'm Brad." And John's like, "Good, okay, I found the place. We're all good." Realizes that there's 2 Brads that live around the corner from each other.
He was at the wrong Brad's house.
And hopefully they get along.
Yeah.
So 900 meters away, there's another Brad that also snowmobiles, because there was a snowmobile, a skidoo outside, and that's why he also thought he had the right place. Very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we rode up from his place then to the Homestead Resort and restaurant. Had a good lunch there, and yeah, there's just one of our other new stickers. So my dad ran some new stickers for the channel. We have this, which is on that sweater. You see the Let It Ride. Okay.
Well, this is kind of the season we're having, is just we're letting it ride.
And then he gave me a couple of these to match the dirt bike as well. We figured that we're team yellow and team red, with me riding a Suzuki and now a yellow Skidoo in the winter, and him with the red Yamaha and the red Skidoo in the winter. So yeah,
very cool.
Oh,
yep, and you can go. And then we always love, Chris Watson always has barbecues, so we thought we'd have our own little barbecue, and not on purpose, but this is a good shot showing the trail link, and I mean, this is one of the things where we tried to get the guy in the back to use it, but he has an Android, and I didn't have the link for the Android demo software for it. It does work on iPhone right out of the App Store. So he wasn't running it, but had he ran it, we would have been alerted like this. And I'll show you what this is about, Steve. Here's a little spot for TrailLink. Out on the trails, connection matters. Okay. That's where TrailLink comes in. TrailLink is the off-grid buddy tracking system that keeps your group connected even when cell service can't. Quickly find and notify your crew if you need help, with long-range performance up to 10 kilometers on open ice and 1 to 2 kilometers through hills and trees. TrailLink is built on a mesh network that links up to 20 riders with a long-lasting battery and a bright display showing group connection and alerts. TrailLink keeps you connected when it matters most.
Glad you're all right, buddy.
So brap on over to traillink.ca, TRAILINK.ca, and use the coupon code SNOWBRATS at the checkout, and you'll receive 25% off your purchase. There we go. Yeah, you picked that out. Steve said there's a shot on the Seguin Trails that's between Kearney and Perry Sound. And yeah, I had the drone up there last year and ran into a few guys from the small world. Or I guess it's funny how the world works. Ran into a guy I went to school with, public school and high school, and played hockey with and stuff on Sunday nights. And he pulled up on his sled and we were shooting the breeze, and he's actually involved in the Drumbo Snowmobile Club, and that's where we moved. So I ended up running into him again. So it's pretty cool. It's what goes around comes around.
So should I just quickly we're just going to quickly show the barbecue. We're not going to
talk too much about it, but our friend Brad had another mishap, and we don't know what happened or why it happened, but riding along and smoke started billowing out, and that's his 2025 Skidoo 900 Turbo. So we'll see what happens. And I thought this was a great little shot of the Mudbrat sticker on the back. So people that say we never have barbecues on the trail, then this is a good example.
And then for those of you who always say that a 137 Skidoo or any snowmobile, 137 long track will not fit in a 5-foot box. Well, Brad shows us you can fit a 137 in a 5-foot box.
With the tailgate closed.
You guys are cruel.
Oh,
poor guy. I haven't talked to him today. I know he was dealing with it last night a bit more, and yeah, we're all sorry. Uncle Buck says sorry, Brad, and Brad's had probably the worst luck of. You can go to the next slide there. He's probably had the worst luck of anybody snowmobile in the last few years, but you know what? He's such a great.
I know he's going to buy another one.
He's such a great spirit and fun guy to ride with. Like, we have a blast whenever we're out on the trails. And if I didn't see it myself both times and see how this is a total freak thing, you wouldn't believe it. You'd think he was doing this for insurance, and he's not.
And I absolutely love
it's freaking insane to see how it happened.
And I love our friend John. He goes, whoa, wait a minute. Because this is after we're all talking about it. We're all standing around it. Wait a minute. So last year, you had one of these burn up. You went out and bought a new one. Now the same thing has happened this year, and you're going to go out and buy another one?
He loves them that much, which is good. I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
So just real quick, here's another shot of those LJE products, whiteout lights. I really like the fact that they're actually wired for constant power. So here's this. My sled's actually off here, and I had them on when we stopped on the side of the trail to take a piss. And there's actually a shot of just those lights running. So as much as they're just like an additional auxiliary to help like a low beam light up, they're really nice, especially when we got into snow dust. I was noticing it almost works like a really low and bright fog light, which I really enjoyed. So yeah, highly recommend.
That's with no other lights on either. Like the sled is off. It's crazy how bright they are.
So yeah.
Yeah, go to ljeproducts.com. I think I've got a discount code.
You should ask if it's still active, because I know he had one last year.
It probably will.
It's like Mudbrats or something.
I think it's Mudbrats actually is the coupon code. But if you go on there and Mudbrats doesn't work, then by all means email me.
Hit us up. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Email me Gary at mudbrats.com and I'll get him to reactivate if it's not active anymore.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then just everyone was talking a bit in the chat about our Snowmageddon we received yesterday. Well, I was at work yesterday and came out to my car slightly in a snowdrift. And then when I tried to get home, I was in a snowdrift. And since my car's lowered, I had a very tough time getting in my driveway last night. So
you look like an Amazon driver on a snowmobile trail.
I kind of do look like an Amazon driver on a snowmobile trail, don't I?
Yeah, you do. What's with the white stuff? He's in Costa Rica. Yeah, right on, buddy. You should come up now. We can take you out riding.
And there's more shots of those stickers. So
yeah,
see us on the trails. Wave us down. I might just have one of these in my glove box for you.
Yeah, we'll have some stickers. Yeah.
What'd Chris Watson have to say?
Chris Watson says, "I'm curious to know." Here, let me call it up here.
You're not on this computer though.
I can get it up there.
Oh no, you have to. You're highlighted a comment still.
Oh, I got you there.
You this thing?
Right. I'd be interested. That one there.
Yeah. So
he says, I'd be interested in Drew's opinion. Some folks are saying we should ban mountain sleds from trails since they use trails and then go off them when they see a spot. And really, that's exactly what happened on Sunday when we were out. Like there's a group of guys rode by on like Chaos and backcountries, and the two of them had cans on, real nasty cans, and then
sounded pretty good.
And then it's like later on we see them and they're all parked along the side of the trail, and this guy's up on the edge of a farmer's field, like up on this hill, like back in, just blasted.
It wasn't even a hill. It was a flat. No, it was a flat area, and the guy's on he's on his side doing a big carve, and he nearly pulls right on the trail when we're all coming by, and I'm just like, what are you doing, bro? I don't think there should be a blanket ban on mountain sleds. There's definitely like people. I have a friend of mine who lives up in Sudbury, and he has a 146 Freeride Turbo, which he has because they do a lot of riding on their own private property as well as on Crown land and do off-trail riding. So I don't think there should be a blanket ban, because you can never ban it. Say, oh well, on Crown land you can ride it, but you can't ride it here. I think the solution is just harsher penalties for trespassing, as well as I think the cans are stupid. But then at the same time, I don't know why people in Southern Ontario buy 2.5-inch paddle track sleds in the first place to just go to a field and do circles. Because I can do that on my 129 with a 1.25 on it, and not. But you're not supposed to. But I'm just saying, like it's these guys that think that they all want to be Muskoka Freerider, Seaboys TV, and the likes, but aren't doing it in the respectful manner. It doesn't really need to be banned. It just needs. These kids just need to get smacked up the side with a big penalty.
Now grab a beer and listen to Steve.
You're gonna need one. No, but my point is, you just said, you can go free riding up on the Muskokas, and my question to you is going to be, where?
You can actually in Lake. What is that lodge? They have backcountry riding, and it's.
In Muskoka?
Someone else help me out here. Well, it's north of Muskoka. It's
we were talking Muskoka.
Yeah.
So I mean, guys go tearing down hydro lines, and they go, "I'm good here on a hydro line." Hydro lines aren't on Crown land.
No.
They're quite often private land, and there's a land use agreement, and it's buggering things up. We're not the Rocky Mountains here. It's I don't know. I question why they're being sold, because when you sell one, you know what's going to be done with it.
Well, especially in southern Ontario, right? Like,
Yeah, but you can't do that because there's
Little
people like
place to
Adam
ride.
Furlong who go to Team Vincent Motor, or well,
yeah.
his last sled he brought brand new here in Ontario was from Team Vincent Motorsport, 165 free ride, and he shipped it out to BC the second he picked it up. So you can't really stop that sale either because there's enough guys to do it. Energy Power Sports we used to deal with.
They buy trailers.
The guys will come in and they'll buy a full trailer. The whole crew will show up with a truck ready to go, load them up from Energy, and they'd ship them out to BC or to even down south.
It does happen. I think the crossover sleds are the tough ones because
you
the
back countries, chaos slashes, the assaults. You can't. Those are such a gray area for the topic that it's almost tough because they're arguably trail sleds now. You can get a Skidoo backcountry turbo with a 2-inch paddle track with a 43-inch ski stance, a trail ski stance.
Yeah.
So
that's where it becomes difficult, right? Because you've got something that is trail rideable, but it's going to be used. What's that trail in your area? It's just near Graven.
There's a place outside Bracebridge by Cleveland's house, Lake Rosso. That's what Tim Weiss just said. Is that what you're thinking of?
Yeah, no, I don't know of that place, but
there's a few spots.
No, but there's a place that was a trail, and remember the time we went down it, and it was just the swamp area was just shredded, and it's like they had actually closed it, and I think they reopened it, but it was like they had to fence the whole thing and put like yellow ribbons all around to keep people out of there, and it was just shredded. Like it's sad to see, but do you think there's any educational process, Steve, that can help put the mindset in? Like, do you think steeper fines? That's what I was saying last week.
I was thinking that
total sled confiscation or really heavy duty fines would hinder it.
I don't know if I want to get my house burnt down. I mean, the reality is my personal interest is recreational snowmobiling. That's my thing, and that's supporting the trails and using the trails. I'm not interested in off-trail riding, and the reason being, in the province of Ontario, certainly as we come farther south, there's probably, you can have someone say, yeah, there's a field here, we can go use it. Well, big deal. You go around in circles in the field. That's not what it's about,
Yeah.
We're putting on thousands of kilometers, seeing things you can't see in any other season, and having a good time and building memories and doing it not at the expense of others. And then we've got, some stuff going on, and the off-trail thing. I'm puzzled by the why it's so attractive to people, knowing that where they ride is probably where they shouldn't be. Yeah,
no, and I think for the most part, people know that, right? I don't know how you get it through their head, or that's the only thing I could see is steeper fines and. Like the MNR, if you don't have a fishing license, your truck, your trailer, and everything you brought your boat to the lake with is taken away, right? It's towed away.
Well, Quebec does that for trail cans, eh?
Is that right?
Quebec, if I've heard of this, I've seen pictures on their pages before that in like the towns and the cities, if you're going through and you have a can and a cop pulls you over, they have the right to tow your sled away. There's people with pictures of their sleds on the back of tow trucks getting towed away because Quebec has got a blanket like 0 tolerance, no cans at all. We just slap you on the wrist if you get caught with a straight pipe. So
Iron Moose says you can't fix stupid. That's for sure.
I would wholeheartedly agree with that.
Yeah. So Chris Watson sent us some pictures, and he was doing changing over fuel filters on his Skidoos, and sent us a couple pictures of the process here. I thought these are kind of interesting. This is a 900 turbo as well. You can keep clicking through here.
Make sure that fuel sock's on good and tight, man. Make sure there's not a single small leak on that fuel sock.
Yeah.
And you put it all back together.
It's kind of neat. I never seen inside fuel pump before like this. It's pretty cool. Thanks for sending this in. And there they are, trail riding. This is Quebec minty trails. You gotta love this. You ride much in Quebec, Steve?
We've done numerous rides there, and I will say this: when you get on good trails in Quebec, they are stunning when you get on bad trails in Quebec. I did $1,700 damage to the suspension on my snowmobile on one trip.
Ooh,
Just absolutely beat me and the machine to bits. And that was near Per Se Rock. It was just friggin' horrible. And then a couple of years later, my son and I go down the same trail again, reluctantly, going, "Oh, what are we doing this for?" It was like a friggin' highway again. They
Yeah.
just have so much traffic that it their trails can get beat up just like our trails can get beat up. I will say this year in the trail system, like I'm in Simcoe County, riding around Simcoe County. It's Quebec quality here this year. It's stunning,
Yeah.
absolutely stunning. I very, very, very rarely go out on weekends, and we went for a ride yesterday, and the trails were just remarkable. Like they were just remarkable. It was a great day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been on the dirt paths in Quebec last year or the year before? The year before. And yeah, it was probably some of the worst trails I've ever rode on. And my friend Dino was away with Paul that we rode with on the weekend 2 weeks ago, and they had pristine trails, and they come up over a hill. One groomer groomed this way and another groomer groomed this way, and they turned around just over the like in the blind area of a hill. When they both turned, they swooshed up this big burn, and you come
Oh, there you
over
go.
the hill, and the first guy went right off the sled. Dino ended up like locking on the binders, and he ended up getting bucked off the sled and rolled it. It kicked his sled, rolled it, and there was just an explosion of plastic all over the place. And he sent me pictures. If I remember, I'll put him in for next week. I'll get his permission to show him. He won't mind. But when you look at the trail, when I say it's pristine, it was groomed and there wasn't another sled went down it. If there was one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, they might have been clipping along at 60, 70 kilometers an hour on this thing, come over this hill, and it just was a big rut.
Who are you trying to kid?
Yeah. Yeah. So
We did it that
we
though.
usually do 52, 50 when we're in Ontario.
It's no joke though when there's stuff like that. We at our cottage, we kind of live down we live down the road from where the trail comes out on this like unmaintained road. So the one season we know that usually they don't ever bother grooming or plowing this road. So you usually can just ride right up and then the trail just starts. Well, I guess this year the groomer actually pushed a pile of snow to the corner where it turns off the road back into the trail. And we come up over the hill on this icy road, and all three of us that we were with, it was me, you, and your buddy Mike, all locked the brakes on and all hit this snowbank. You cleared it pretty good. I hit it and I just threw the sled down. I just was like, as soon as I hit it, I just bailed to the side and threw the sled that way, like almost like dirt bike style, where you just like try to get away from the machine. It bounced down into the ditch. And then, Mike hit it pretty hard too and friggin' bucked himself forward on his 1200, but it can happen fast, guys.
Yeah.
And that was just us riding up an icy road, probably too fast, but.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But I mean, it does happen fast. So yeah, another great lodge in Quebec.
Yeah, that looks nice.
Lots of sleds out.
Going to Vigne Pouvière.
Yeah.
Nice.
Pretty cool. And then just showing some weather here, minus 33 degrees Celsius. Frigid
Feels
air
like
and snow.
minus 41.
Yeah. Yeah. And we had minus 30 here on the weekend. It
Feels like
cold.
minus 35 or something.
Technology.
I'm still feeling it. My lips are all messed up. So
Yeah. My comm was frozen. My mics had so much moisture in them. My helmet wouldn't lock shut. I was having a heck of a time on the weekend, but yeah. So
Good times.
yeah, Master Bullet 340 sent this one in. And he just finished restoring this
His
73 Bullet 340 with sliders, and it's freaking mint. So good.
yeah,
Yeah, you can click through these.
he has a few.
148.
No,
1,485
miles
on it. The Wisconsin have such a like easy to get vintage sleds like this. We don't see them like this in Ontario.
Yeah, the yeah, you see some that are pretty cool, but there's an awful lot that have just been left out in the fields.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they're a lot cheaper down there, even after exchange. We get blown away at Heydays. I don't remember what. Did he say what he paid for this one?
No,
It wasn't a lot.
Yeah.
It was like it wasn't a lot.
Yeah. No,
They put a lot of money into making it all proper, bought parts at Heydays and stuff like that, the swaps. So yeah, it's a beautiful looking sled.
And it's all there. The tack and speedo is really cool. It's rare to see them on a.
He bought those at Heydays.
Yeah, did he really?
Yeah, he bought
Okay,
those from
there
a
he
booth.
goes.
There was a guy who
Yeah.
had one, and he said, "Oh, that's perfect. That's what we're looking for." It was like
Yeah.
one of the last pieces of whatever they were looking for.
Yeah.
Plus, those for another sled they're building, but I'm pretty sure because it was his dad that bought them. He said it was for
Yeah.
his 73 Bullet.
There you go. Yeah, I love that. All the cowls in place. They get thrown away so you can keep the carb open to tune it as you went.
Yeah.
So they're hard to find on sleds. So yeah, this is a nice piece. So yeah, thanks for sending those in, Mass Art.
All right, into
Steve's pictures.
Yes.
These aren't in any order either, by the way. There's a few that I tried to put in order, but we're gonna be jumping back and forth of your journey of your career and life.
Yeah, this is kind of an odd sequence. Yeah. This is a plane. This company built planes just south of Parry Sound. It's called Found Air, and this plane was called the Expedition. And when I found out about them, I was doing I did a television commercial for Parry Sound, and Bill Spinney was in economic development. And he told me about this company because, quite frankly, I didn't know anything about them. And I went down and I laid my eyeballs on this manufacturing facility at the Parry Sound Airport. I was blown away. I just couldn't believe what I was seeing and the quality of the planes that were coming out. So I did my best to get hired on to do some promotional work for them, and they weren't an easy sale. And finally, one day, I kind of get a phone call, and they're going, okay, why don't you show us what you can do? And so this particular shot was taken, obviously, from another plane. It was the exact plane. It was a blue one, and they took both the back doors off, which were cavernous back doors. I mean, huge. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't like going up a ladder. and I'm going, what are these guys doing to me? I'm going, can't you put that other door on the other side on, like at least so that you feel like you've got something somewhere? And they go, oh no, it's too much work now. We put the doors away. And I'm looking at them. I'm going, this is like a sick joke. And so anyhow, they get me in the back of this plane, no seats in it. I'm sitting on the floor, and I've got a rope tied around me with no doors on either side. And I'm sitting on the runway, and yeah, I'm not going to lie. I thought I was going to cry. I'm going, this is like insane. What the hell are we doing? And then we take off, and off we go, and flying over land. All the shots that I took, the video and stills, were taken with a Canon DSLR, so a digital single lens reflex camera.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was no steadying device that I had other than what was built into the camera, which is very limited. And I was using a monopod to hold onto the camera. and I'm going, yeah, they've really called me out this time. And it turned out great. And it was rough over land. I didn't realize that turbulence over land is a big issue, because where you have trees and then you have exposed land, it creates upward columns of air that shake the heck out of the airplane. So we couldn't get any shots, and they went out over Georgian Bay, and it was much, much smoother. It was great. And the pilot in the yellow plane, great pilot, Ted Dunst, was his name. And They had all the protocols down. They flew at different levels, and like a plane was never in a situation that if you suddenly lost power that the planes could touch, if that makes sense. They would. So that plane is below us and off to the side, and that's how we flew. And yeah, I got the company that ended up buying this company when they went insolvent is down in New Zealand, and they're still using the marketing videos that I did like they're 12 years ago now.
Very
wow.
cool.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, and yeah, remarkable airplanes, absolutely remarkable. The sad thing about the pilot in the yellow plane is he's the fellow that was killed in a Lake Buccaneer over in Bracebridge. He and the purchaser of the plane, he was flying for a company that did some work on it, like sold it, and something mechanical happened. It was on the test flight, and he tried the impossible turn, which is I can get back to the airport, and it didn't quite work. He almost did it, but it didn't work, and 2 lives were lost there. That was sad.
Oh no.
But, yeah, he great guy, great pilot. He was, yeah, it was tragic. But I don't mean to be Debbie Downer here.
No.
But I'll never forget the experience of working with these people and being part of what they did. It's just freaking unbelievable. It was stunning.
Impressive
Yeah,
photos to shoot with that.
Do you have that
Yeah,
video?
And this was this was like, these are great photos. Drew is just going impressive photos. And again, this was how many years ago?
12 years.
Yeah. So,
And he said, but the thing is, he said no stabilization other than what's built into the DSLR.
yeah,
which
exactly. Yeah.
By today's standards is not great.
No.
Your phone does better than a 10-year-old DSLR, but
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it was the actual Canon. The model of the camera was for your gang that maybe know them. It was a Canon 7D is what I used.
is that
on
what
those.
you had? You had a DSLR too.
No, it was, mine was like a, I can't remember what it was. 7D is a good camera.
Yeah. Do you have the video clip of it going?
I think I do. You're going to come to it. It's the next one. There'll be not this one, but I think one more. Is that the video clip? Yeah, there it is.
So he goes inverted.
Holy,
that's wild.
I had no warning that he was going to do that, and I'm hanging my friggin' camera out the side of the plane because if you go back to that shot, what you got to appreciate is he's going down. I had to stick the camera right out
to fall down,
or else I was going to be shooting the floor. Like it was crazy that it worked out that well.
What a great!
That was just one of many shots we got that day where they were just remarkable. Yeah,
that is wild.
Crazy.
So very maneuverable, those planes. That's with floats on as well. That's impressive.
Yeah. Do you notice too that plane doesn't have wing struts?
No, it doesn't. That's pretty solid.
Right.
Right on.
There's no wing struts on it. So and the size of the doors made it really easy to get stuff in and out of. They were nicknamed the Mini Beaver after the de Havilland Beaver.
Yeah.
Because it offered a lot of the incredible things that the Beaver was known for. It was just more compact.
Nice. Well, that's funny you say that because Rob Overholt says I flew in a 1950 Beaver this summer. It was cool.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
Michael DeJulio says, Steve, what do you ride in 2026? I mean, we're going to see it, but you want to tell him?
I've got 2 sleds, and I've got a 900R, and I have a Voyager with the 4-stroke, the 1-liter 4-stroke twin. Right
on.
Yeah, and the 900R is it's a really nice sled. It's sophisticated. It rides well. It's got the smart shocks on it and stuff like that. It's got the big gauge, and the big gauge is I won't have any friends at the end of this. I guess it's lunch bag let down. It's not. It's not worth it. It's not
Everybody
worth
knows that you're not telling breaking news.
No, you're
Yeah,
preaching to the choir.
it
here.
is.
Brad actually said about his 900 that ended up in his 5-foot box, that he said that he will never buy another sled with the 10.25-inch gauge because it's a battle. It's just, you're just fighting with technology and you just get mad. It actually, like he says, it like ruins some rides because you're just like, it should be so good, and when it works, it's really good, but it only works 40% of the time. So
Yeah. Well, there was an update this year, and I've been really, really encouraged because I've gone about 800 kilometers so far this year,
nice.
and it's worked faultlessly for every ride except Sunday. And Sunday it started crashing again and doing its stupidity all over again. So I'm going, oh well.
Yeah.
I thought it was, and they'll tell me it's a USB cable. Well, I've bought enough USB cables for crying out loud. I should be a shareholder in the Chinese companies that make it. And then they go, oh, well, it's your phone. So I go buy another friggin' phone that I didn't need. And no, that's not it either. It's just quirky. And yet, you know, in other situations, that kind of technology works all right, you know. Yeah, my car isn't going down the road with the dashboard stuck in minus 30 degrees, but yeah. Enough on that topic.
No, there's some room to improve. Rob Overall says he works at Fleet Canada, which was just bought out by de Havilland Canada.
And I'm sorry, he works where?
Fleet Canada.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah.
Here's another. This is another comment with $2, so go get you a coffee. Is when I was a youngster, friends of mine, their dad, his name was Dick Hiscox. I'm sure if people want to look it up, they'll go, Hayward's full of shit. No, this is true. Dick Hiscox developed the wing for the Beaver, the Otter, the Dash, the Caribou, and the Water Bombers. He did them all, and he lived in Schaumburg, and then he went out with after de Havilland shut down. He ended up moving to British Columbia and worked with Viking Air, and Viking Air are certified. They the joke with Viking Air is if you come in with a piece of a plane and a serial number, they'll build you. They'll restore your airplane for you.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. Those planes opened up Canada. I mean, they're just amazing what they did. Yeah.
Are you still afraid of heights now, or did that experience cure that bug?
No, I just drink heavily now. I'm kidding. Yeah, I don't know if I would trip over my feet running to get into the plane again. I don't think so. There's lots more to that story I could have told you, like the fumes coming in because both doors were open.
Oh, I bet, right?
It was getting to the point that the pilot and I were conversing with one another about is this like a really good idea? And he did some trickery and it got better. He was actually this isn't that important, but it was interesting. The pilot that was flying my plane was actually Mrs. Rogers' jet pilot from Rogers Communications.
Oh, wow.
So when he finished with me, he went and got a night's sleep, and then the next day they flew to some island in the middle of nowhere so she could pick up her new super yacht.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Communication's been very, very good to me.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Rob says we are building the rear fuselage for the 515 water bomber.
Whereabouts?
That's at Fleet Canada. That's the guy.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Down in Fort Erie for
Down
100
in Fort
years.
Erie, yeah.
That's very cool.
Is that what?
Well,
yeah, down here in Fort Erie for 100 years.
Isn't
Nice.
that crazy here, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a plane that, they stopped production of it, and people are going all over the world trying to find them and get them restored and put them back in service. And, finally they're building them again.
Yeah, that's wicked. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, those things work.
yeah. So this is the Kearney ice caves we're looking at here.
Yeah. That's a few years ago. Dean and I, that's my oldest boy. we left from Victoria Harbor, and we did a nice loop. That took us over through Minden, up through there, up to North Bay, and then from there we went up to New Liskeard, and then across down to the Sportsman's Lodge. And actually, I might be exaggerating. Maybe we didn't know. We ran into rain. We had to cut the trip a bit short, but
Right.
it was an epic ride. We were
That's
on. Not that the brand of sleds matters, but we were on a pair of Adventure 800s, and they performed really well on that trip. It was a good ride. It was a good ride.
What do you, what's your typical, distance for riding that you do? Like, sounds like you log some big miles. Like, what do you prefer to ride like? Like, how many K?
Well, Dean likes to try and kill his dad. So, if we're in Quebec, he's, I think he'd be disappointed if we hadn't done 200 kilometers by lunch. And I basically, wherever the heck we are, if there's civilization around and it's 4 o'clock, watch my taillight. I'm going right there.
Yeah.
See what he tried this year is to get me to buy a slower sled, but it didn't work out in his favor because I'm still sitting for 10 minutes at every single road crossing. We're like, I wasn't going that fast.
Tim Weiss
You might
says,
have to
did
get a
you ride the
faster
expedition when you did that Yukon trip?
The which?
Did you ride the expedition when you did the Yukon trip? Or whatever that one you're talking about? That's a Polaris, right? The Adventure?
Well, are you talking about the Arctic ride?
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Oh,
That was in the SnowTrax years. So that was probably 97 that I did that. We flew up, and then we were on fan-cooled long track sleds, and we did the Mackenzie. We did the ice highway all the way out to Tuktoyaktuk.
wow.
It was mind altering. It truly was. It was absolutely mind altering. You gotta. There's Dean having fun. Yeah, I want to buy his knees.
Yeah. I've done this a few times.
Yeah.
In your old gear, this is the exact move you did when you had the Nordic that day out.
Yeah,
You're dancing on the ice. That was
that was a good ride till it started raining.
Oh,
Man,
no.
did it rain? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we had a season like that. We were up in Mattawa doing the Explorer Snow Tour loop.
Yeah.
All the different spots on it. And by the end of I don't think it was by the end. I actually want to say it was by lunchtime. It started raining, and it was just like our visors were constantly fogging up. That was like pre us having like the nice oxygen helmets with plugged in visors. So we were out, so it was nice, but it was like the end of March break. So it was like March 15th or whatever, March 16th. And it was just like the trails were closing like the next day sort of thing.
Yeah.
Trails were hard as rock.
Yeah. When things go wrong, they go wrong, right?
Mhm.
But there was some great riding that day. We enjoyed it a lot. And when the wheels fell off, it fell off.
Yeah.
No doubt.
That happens.
Yeah, it does. Uh-oh. That's way back.
Yeah. This is a couple podcasts you'd mentioned you've been on recently. This is the Backroads Bill, and I actually had to listen to that before I had you on here and before we had our conversation. It's actually a really good chat you had with him.
Yeah, Bill and I, it's an interesting story how we met. Bill's an environmentalist. He calls himself a consensus environmentalist. What does that mean? He weighs things through. He just doesn't. He just doesn't go offside on the environmentalist thing. He understands that. He drives a car. He's got to get to places. He's a consumer of goods and stuff like that. So, but he's very conscious about what do we do to, in his words, to make it a better day. And he's very thoughtful. He started the Canadian Ecology Center, which is still running up in Mattawa, which is if anyone ever wants to look it up. It's pretty neat. It's educational programs, all sorts of things. And he's a good guy. So we met. I was doing ATV adventures, and a fellow by the name of Ted Day was with tourism in Ontario, and I'd been doing some work with. And he said, I think you get along with Bill Steer. He goes, a lot of people wouldn't think that you two would get along, but he says, I just think you would. So Ted had never steered me wrong, so I got a hold of Bill, and it was a shaky start. We were doing a reenactment in Port Loring Restoule. We had a full camera crew there, and we were doing, because Bill would dress up as Champlain and do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so we had these huge canoes. We had everyone doing their thing, and it was pretty cool. That's what was going to happen. And as I say, I had the full production crew, and there's no Bill. And I get him on the phone, and he starts laying the problems, the environmental concerns, and people that he works with are really against it. And I said, well, Bill, whether you and I agree on it or not, I said, you got to look at the ATV business sort of like a locomotive. And I go, we can either be an ink spot on the front of it, or we can try and help figure out where the track should go. So it was with Bill Steer and other working partners that we started the Ontario Federation of ATV Clubs. That's how that got going.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And Bill Steer was involved in making that happen. And I treasure my friendship with him, because the two of us are good for each other. We keep each other in check.
Yeah, that's kind of neat. Like, what a great story, and enough for you to stay committed to actually show him, the right side of, like you said, we can either not do this and let ATVers run wild and destroy everything, or we can show people the proper way to ride and where to ride.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So I mean, we gave it a good shot, and the television show I had at the time was called ATV Adventures. And did that for a few years. And at the same time, we also shot a marine show called Off the Dock Adventures. So these shows were on TSN, CTV Sportsnet, they were on Speed Vision, they were on the Outdoor Life Network and stuff like that. So
very, very cool.
They got a lot of airplay back in the day, but that's so long ago now, I don't even know if they had electricity.
No. Bruce Mellenbacher says, ask Steve about getting up in the middle of the night to the alarm clock, F Troop.
Bruce Mellenbacher is, that's a fantastic individual.
Right on.
Bruce Mellenbacher is one of the founding members of SnowTrax Television.
Oh, wow, right on.
Okay. And Bruce and I intimately know Sled Ed very well. And Bruce, I met Bruce through John. I guess we might as well get into a war story here, right?
Yeah.
I know this is a good segue. I got my ass fired out of Suzuki. I was in the auto division, and we had a difference of opinion. And anyhow, that was the end of that career. And I get a call from Massenberg, John Massenberg, and he goes, Steve, I'm starting a snowmobile racing show, and I need your help. And I go, racing, okay. How interesting is it going to be? But Bruce and John were partners in Raceline, which did automotive racing, and they also did Raceline Radio. It was a show back in the day, and they were doing well. It wasn't easy for them, but I mean, they were out there making it happen, and their programming aired on TSN. So I went to give them a hand, and their partnership was with a retired snow pro racer, very well known, and I think it's probably just as well we leave his name out of it. But there was something that happened with that partner that he thought he could do a better deal another way. So he kind of threw John and Bruce under the bus. And I told him, I said, recreational snowmobiling is huge. I go, this is like the best day of your life. And I go, let's just go do a recreational snowmobile show. And John says, okay, smart ass, if it's that big of a deal, why don't you go get me a sponsorship check? So I'm going to use their name because they were the original sponsor, and I think it's only fair. I drove to Sudbury because when I used to work for Honda, Ron Canerva, who had the shop, which at one time was the largest Polaris snowmobile dealer anywhere, he started a company with Mike Hino called Mogul Master, and that's the trail grooming equipment. So I scampered up there and got my first sponsorship check from there and came back and put that and went, here you are, Turbo Jaws. And he goes, do you think I'm going to be able to do a show with one check? So I went and saw Darcy Chenier at Skidoo and came back with another check. And the rest is history. So when I left SnowTrax in the end of the 90s, we had every manufacturer as a sponsor, parts companies, parts and accessory companies, oil companies, traction and control products. We were well financed, and the show did well. But anyhow, we're back to Ed now. So as we're coming up with the things to do, like we wanted the new product showcase, we wanted something to do with trail systems and resorts. We wanted to be able to cover that. There was the shop talks, which I used to host, and I said we need to come up with a safety thing too. And they go, well, how the hell are we going to do that? And I go, well, I used to ride the odd time with a guy. His name was Ed, and this guy, every time he went out, he wrecked a snowmobile. It was horrific.
We got a guy, he's called Brad, that does that.
Brad's friend. Brad's friend. Remember? Brad's friend, whose wife doesn't
Go ahead.
So this guy, his nickname was Sled Ed, right? And anyhow, Ed, the original Ed that I used to ride with, met Sled Ed at a snowmobile show, and he says, you know, it's funny, that used to be my nickname. And he goes, I used to wreck a lot of shit.
When he met the real Sled Ed.
He met the two Reds met, and so that was pretty funny. But anyhow, we came up with some rules with it, and the rules were we accepted the fact that it's hard to get a safety message through to adults. It's difficult. So we went, well, what if we work on saving the kids, right? And what if the kids then in turn can impact the adults? And we're going, so let's not worry about the adults. Let's work on the kids. So we wanted to make it fun. So we decided it was going to be comedy. The other thing that we made a very, very conscious decision of is when it came to the horrific parts, the hit, we would make sure that we used a mannequin that was so cheesy looking that a child, a young person would understand that that's not a real human getting run over by the trail groomer, right? We didn't want to traumatize people. Oh, yeah. So, you know, we made sure that it had that corny look on it, to it. That's how the character got going. Now, as far as, so the very first Ed that we did, there's a picture there somewhere you must have of me on an old Olympic.
Yeah.
You should put that up. And there's a reason why you want to put that up. It's because, unfortunately, a lot of Sled Ed episodes are a direct result of people I knew or me.
Yeah. It's in there somewhere. There's a Nordic and an Olympic in it. So anyhow, it must have been like the Dukes of Hazzard, where you guys wrecked a lot of good bubble nose back in those days.
Yeah, but it was one thing to wreck stuff, right? I mean, there's a well-received character out there now that does stuff now. But we always wanted to have a message attached to it. Like there was a purpose for what we were doing. It wasn't just to go out. Yeah. So there's another picture. That's
one.
Yeah, that's it. You know, I don't know if you can zoom in on that at all. Yeah, I hit a tree. That was sled ed number 1. And ironically, it was done many, many years later. I was 15 years old here, so that was taken in '69. We shot that in January of '94 was the first sled ed. So Ed comes out. So we've got the general idea of what it is that we're going to do, and and Ed comes out of the lodge, and the fellow that is Ed, if you met him, you would argue with me that there's no way in the world it's that guy. As soon as he put the suit on, it was bizarre. He just went to another planet. he was hilarious. You know, the way he would walk, the way he would act, he was just fantastic. And treasured memories. I worked with Ed and produced over the time I was at SnowTrax, probably 60 of those things. And then we also brought the character to ATV Adventures, and he was called Adventure Ed. And
Nice.
I guess probably 18 of them there. And oh yeah, no, he brought that character to life, and he's living a good life still, and has a little fan club on Facebook, and he monitors it. If people communicate with him, he'll get back to them. And yeah, no, fantastic memories. Great
That's
guy.
wicked. How did the gear come about? Like, it looks like he's just got like
those are swimming
PSE
goggles.
gloves and swimming goggles, and like, is there a story behind that?
Oh, way to go. The suit is my dad's girlfriend's.
Nice.
Yeah. The helmet, well, we had to get several helmets because they got busted, but originally, I mean, there was some of the cheesiest helmets back in the day. So we were able to get these things. The gloves definitely were Ed's idea. And the balaclava, we wanted to have a degree of anonymity. So, you know, the balaclava was important. The other thing too is Ed never spoke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like the Stig.
Yeah. And now there is also another rule that Ed never did is we never did an episode on drinking and driving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because even Ed wasn't stupid enough to do that.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And because again, we were going with the kids, you know, like we were really wanting to focus on the kids. And it was funny. We had adults when we were at the snowmobile shows come up to us and go, you know what? My kid came up to me the other day and said, "Dad, you just pulled an Ed."
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, I guess it worked, and the OFSC used it in driver training for a decade or more.
Still do, from what I know.
Yeah,
that was only 10 years ago that I did when I was 12, did my training, and they were still showing sled ed videos.
Yeah. So I mean, that's a nice pat on the back of something.
Shows the legacy of it.
Yeah.
The importance, the videos, the significance and the importance and the message of the videos still doesn't change to this day. Doesn't matter how advanced the snowmobiles get, you can still be an Ed.
And I remember being in high school or whatever, and talking to my buddies about what Ed did on the weekend when you watch it on TV, and you'd huddle around the TV just trying to see that episode, and then you had something to laugh and talk about, and yeah, it was pretty cool.
I thought he said the first sled ed was shot in '94.
Speaking of, no, he's been around a long time. I remember going to Toronto. Well, that might have been after I was done.
You were out of college. You were in college when sled ed was.
Yeah,
you were just finishing college when sled ed was a thing.
We were still doing the Toronto shows and stuff.
Friggin' Hans and Franz was only a year out.
Yeah, this is funny. That was a sled ed weekend. Tim Weiss says, I found an old Yamaha promotional video for the Enticer. In the video, it shows a small group riding, and when they stop for lunch trailside on the sled, they crack open and share a bottle of wine. He said he sent me the video link, so I'll play that next week on the show.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Bill
You know,
McCleary says Raceline Radio. He remembers it well.
Yeah, Eric Thomas. And Eric Thomas did Raceline Radio. He also did the voiceover on Raceline, the television series, the car racing.
Oh, yeah.
But he also was the voiceover for all the sled heads.
Oh, cool.
Okay. Yeah, Eric Thomas. At the beginning, I wasn't totally down with the amount of talking that Eric was doing, but it didn't take too long to morph into it and go, no, it's good entertainment. It's the way he did it. He was and Eric did his writing. I'm not alluding to the fact that anyone else did his work. He did his work. You know, I got Ed on machines. I got the stupid things running. Thank goodness JT's and New Lowell was so giving. They supplied all of our sleds.
Yeah, right on.
And his only rule was he wanted to get them back no matter how bad they were mangled. And we had one, it's in you've got a highlight reel, an Ed highlight reel. I don't know if you want to play it.
Like it's there. It says Ed written on it. Like
there's one where we put drove a machine off the bank in a gravel pit, and the darn thing caught on fire so bad. We had to bury it with a front end loader.
There.
This one?
Yeah. This is next one.
No, that's
that one.
Yeah,
it's actually
it's a video, so click on it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got audio too. Ed couldn't swim, by the way.
Train. Oh my gosh. Oh my. Wouldn't have much left of the explosion there.
No, that ET250, yeah, that's almost worth playing again because that's a lot to take in.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
Nice K car.
The train thing. We get up in the morning. We're at the Sportsman's Lodge. That's a really good story.
Yeah.
And I'm going, man, wouldn't that be cool if we could get a snowmobile hit by a train? And a gal that worked at the Sportsman's way back in the day, her name was Kathy. She goes, I know some of the guys at Cape Reel. They maybe help out. So this was like at 8 o'clock in the morning. At 11 o'clock, we're over shooting at the yard. The speed limit in the yard was, I don't know if you can play that clip again. The speed limit in the yard was like 12 kilometers an hour. And the guy told me, he said when we hit that, we were going 77 kilometers an hour.
Yeah, he's moving.
Oh my God, yeah.
And you wouldn't have believed, it didn't make you feel good when you had to go and recoup the thing. It was brutal. And you know, that particular thing, obviously that was a donor Olympic. That's never coming back again.
No, it looks pretty rotted out though.
But Ed kept it for years. I don't know. He still might have that one. He kept it around. It was epic. It was turned into a little pretzel.
Yeah.
But Christine, we called her, you know, because of that crazy movie that was out.
Yeah.
With Christine with the car. And we did so many friggin' Eds with one sled. I don't know how the heck we kept the thing going. We just slam it back out. You couldn't use the built-in fuel tank on them. And I would never run them so that they could run for very long. So it just had a little bit of fuel in them. So if something went awry, the sled wasn't going to go off and do some damage a great distance away. So like literally it just had enough fuel in a fuel line to get going. Yeah.
Pretty wild. How many snowmobiles did you wreck? Did we have a number on that yet?
Oh, I'm sure we went through 30, 40 sleds. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. That one there, where the K car hits the Ed, we did that's got an old TNT, and that's the exhaust system hanging out the side of it there, that black, that
Oh yeah.
pole. And we were doing a thing about modified exhaust with that one. And
that's hilarious.
anyhow, when it came time to unload it, when we did that particular episode, we tied it to a tree, and Ed gets in the K car and floors it and takes off with the sled tied to the tree. And it does the it was like Bugs Bunny Roadrunner. It was just like crazy, right? And the sled just stayed right where it was. The car drove right out from underneath it, and it lands down on the ground. Well, there was this couple that just arrived from the States to come up on holidays and go snowmobiling, and they went into the lodge. They were very concerned about the reckless behavior of Canadian snowmobilers. that was quite a day.
I love that. Yeah, Iron Moose says, before the internet growing up, snowmobile shows and magazines are pretty much the only access to snowmobile content that we had. That's the truth, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
When we were doing the, people are going to go, oh, he's full of, no, I'm not. Our initial audience numbers back in the early 90s were 450,000 on episode 1. Was typical. And guess what? NHL hockey was below us.
Really? That's crazy.
Yeah, no, it was nuts.
And that's the thing with snowmobiling then, trail riding, that's really, well, I guess in the 90s trail riding was big then, but you had said you had seen like the trail network all come together. What we know now is all interconnected OFSC, right? There's pocket clubs everywhere. Was that kind of the overlap of SnowTrax, or was OFSC?
No, the trails were well in place.
Yeah, okay.
They were, but what was happening is it wasn't uncommon to have between 30 and 40 fatalities a year, and that's fatalities. That doesn't count the people that will never walk again, that are horrifically injured. So, there was a need to get things sorted out a bit. So there was a gal up in Sudbury. Her name was Lynn Beach. She was an OPP officer, and she started that initiative. It was called the STOP program, snowmobiles, but whatever. And that was the beginning of it. And the pilot project was up in Sudbury. And the fatalities went from, Sudbury, it was brutal how many people were getting killed up in that trail system because they were just going so friggin' fast. The Thundercats were out, the Mach Z's weren't far, the Mach 1s were out, there was lots of horsepower out there. 650 Indies, and radar guns were going 100 miles an hour. The people go, no way, yeah, they did. 3 cylinders. 3 times 4 transfer ports. That's a lot of port area. And everything's they work well. But anyhow, I digress. So Lynn got that going, and that program is still running now. It's called the I believe it's called the Save.
Yeah.
Because they when we were doing ATV adventures, they also decided to include ATVs into it.
Yeah.
And they also have now melded it together with the boating as well. So, and they're out there making a difference.
Oh, for sure. Bruce Mellenbacher says Steve Hayward was an incredible part of SnowTrax. The show would have never happened without. That's pretty good accolades, man.
Yeah, well, he knows it's right back at him. He and I did a lot of stuff together. It's crazy if you think about the stuff that we did together. We were a cross between crazy, naive, and courageous, I guess. Um, um, our trip to the Arctic together was fantastic, and that trip I didn't feel overly at risk on that particular trip. Yes, there was an element of danger and risk for sure, but we did a trip from Cochrane, and I'm going to leave the guy's name out of it and stuff like that. But anyhow, he sold us on. We needed to do a ride to James Bay, and we ended up with a person that ripped their pelvis off their spine, and we just about did all night camping on the Moose River, just about. It was horrific. It was a nightmare. We had helmet communicators on. I had this one poor bugger was on a snowmobile, and you can't make this stuff up. It was slushy. The Moose River is quirky. We're into getting into darkness, and we got into some really bad slush. And I told this poor bugger, I said, when I tell you to open up the throttle, you open up the throttle, you don't steer. And when I tell you to let off the throttle and hit the brakes, you let off the throttle and hit the brakes. And it worked. We got him across. And this poor bugger on this trip going to James up there, and don't point at me, gang, it wasn't me. We had hired a production company to work with us on this, and it was who they sent. This was the first time this guy had ever been on a snowmobile, was this trip.
Oh, gee.
Yeah. Yeah, it was yeah. So when, the Abitibi Loop and all that stuff, that was the southern part of what we did. It got real from there north. It got really real. And it's one of those memories I could do without. And Bruce was on that ride with me. Bruce leads up to me. That's pretty funny. So we're on the Moose River. There are shards of shards of ice standing up that are so clear because the water was pristine clear. It was like literally panes of glass, except they were thick. And if you hit them, your world was going to be altered. And Bruce leans over to me and he goes, "You know what, Steve?" He says, "These people think there's a Tim Hortons right around the corner." I go, "Yeah." Well, it was one of those shards of glass. The gal that was with us hit it and disemboweled the machine. It was not good. And anyhow, it all had a happy ending.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
good.
But there you are.
Yep.
So I'm glad Bruce was there to help hold things together.
Oh, that's cool. It sounds like you guys are two true crazy Canucks. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, Bruce was my partner with ATV Adventures when we left SnowTrax.
Oh, cool.
We left SnowTrax at the same time, and we started the other production company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're back to the picture of Sled Ed and the explosion, and there's a good story with this.
Yeah. Yeah. So a friend of Bruce's, a young man, Tommy, we decided that we were going to do a sticking to the trail, not trespassing. So the idea was with here is Ed's lost because he's off trail again, and he heads out to an area that he shouldn't be and ends up where they're doing blasting. So there was supposed to be a stick of dynamite put underneath the snowmobile, which I was nervous about. I don't know a whole lot about dynamite, but we had a guy that was in the mining business that was there to do the dynamite. Well, I guess dynamite gets really volatile when there's a mat put on top of it. We didn't have a mat, so it was just kind of like open. And so Tommy goes up to this guy and goes, "You're just going to put one stick of dynamite under that thing?" He goes, "You're going to be on national television, seen all over North America, and you're going to just have one stick of dynamite?" Well, I don't know. The story is there were 6 or 7 sticks of dynamite. And there was a crater that was where that sled was. That was probably
That's
8 feet
the
across
audio.
and probably 4 feet down. And being raised on cartoons and things like that, you see an explosion and then things are supposed to happen as a result of the explosion. They come towards you. Well, we were standing back. We were quite a ways back, as you can see there. There was stuff stuck in the trees that it wasn't pretty. I wasn't happy, to say the least. No one got hurt. Like no one got hurt. That ET 250 was never the same, and the Ed mannequin. That's him going off to the left there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
There's the sled to the right.
It was unfreaking believable, the condition of the poor mannequin after that, and we had to go get new clothing for Ed.
That's got to be 70 feet in the air.
Oh, it was a big boom, and there was a lot of shrapnel stuck in the trees. It was so. Anyhow, I voiced my opinion, which I'm known to do, to the guy that let the dynamite off, and he went kind of like full tilt on us. Next thing you know, he's back at the lodge and he's consuming copious amounts of alcohol and getting angrier and angrier and angrier. I couldn't sleep all that night. I thought he's going to blow up our cabin. But, I really thought I'm there. Bruce and I are on guard. I go, if we hear anything, you take them high, I take them low. Like we're not fooling around with this dude. But anyhow,
Should have made sure you used all the dynamite on the sled explosion. You wouldn't have to worry about that.
Yeah, maybe, but I wasn't counting on it. He definitely went tilt on us. It was like, oh.
He said, Bruce says Steve did his best to keep us alive. LOL.
It's kind of true. When we did that moose and E run, I was putting together, like, everyone was, having a good time and enjoying each other's company. And I'm out like a friggin' madman putting safety equipment in this trailer and trying to get it all put together. And I had a copious amount of safety things that were in there that I felt pretty good that I could make a difference if things went wrong. And finally, I'm getting ridiculed by some of the team that were going, and I'm going, like, what the heck are you doing? You're obsessing over this. And I tried to put it into to make it crystal clear, and I think I got my point across. I said I promised the gals. Yeah, don't think I'll go there. But anyhow, I said this could also bring a body back to your family if things go wrong, and because I really needed to get that point across to people that there is no Tim Hortons around that corner. We were in the middle of nowhere. We had to get fuel put in our sleds that were taken out by Snowmobile and stashed in different places. And our guides, when things started to go bad, when the lady got hurt, all of a sudden our guides left.
Oh no!
They were gone. They just left, and left us on our own. It was pretty spooky. That's when that poor bugger had to do the full throttle across the slush. It was after the guides left. But anyhow,
Yeah.
That's enough of that topic. Let's say I didn't endorse that ride.
No. Wow.
That's a special event there. So we got John Massingbird is with the hat closest to the camera.
Yep.
And if you go on the left-hand side, down 3 people, the fellow with the blue shirt with the big grin on, that's Bruce.
Oh,
Bruce. And if you look at the dipshit at the end of the table, that's me.
All right.
Yeah. And the rest of the crew were executives and production people from TSN.
Oh, cool. Is this at
we
Sportsman's
talked about
Live?
No, this was. Someone will tell me where it was. I'm not sure. It wasn't the Sportsman's.
Okay. Yeah. If it was,
If it was, they would still have those lights up. So
my thoughts exactly. Yeah.
we remember we were at the Burford, we were at a clubhouse down our way in Burford, and there was a picture. It was like from the club. They did a group ride at the Sportsman Lodge in like 1995 or something, and they had a whole collage of photos, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is really cool because it's like the exact same as it is when we do our group ride there, like the weekend before, but it's 1995, and it's like, oh, the only difference is that refrigerator, I think, is probably out the side of the house somewhere down the cliff side, and you know, a few small things, but it's just kind of funny.
It's such a great place, though, like the creaking floors and the wood, and I just love it there.
And the sound of a guy falling out of his bed in the middle of the night, so distinct. Memories.
Bruce says, I had forgotten about the slush ride at night. I honestly thought that was the end of the road. As Steve said, we had crew guys that had never ridden before.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, it was. I'm not going to take credit for anything. We kept our heads. Bruce and I kept our heads, and we kept everyone as safe as we could.
That's all you can do.
Yeah. That's Bruce there in the red, and that's John there beside him.
Yeah, and Tim Druin said earlier in the chat, RIB John M. SnowTrax.
Yeah. John.
Yeah,
John punched his ticket quite a few years ago now.
Yeah, ALS, correct?
Yeah, it was. It was something in that realm. There seems to be a spectrum of things that can hit you in that realm, but it took him out. Yeah, it was too bad.
Yeah, sad.
Guy had a big grin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I split this photo up into two. This is the top half of the magazine or op-ed. So this
is the back of the sled ed card.
Oh, okay, I got you. That thing that was signed earlier, this is the back.
This is the back side of it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So there's John. He was doing the talking head stuff. Debbie did the resort reviews and things like that. And I was the shop talk guy. Bruce did the planning. I'd never seen anyone that could keep a binder that actually made sense. I'd look at him and go, "You're a freak of nature. You can't do this." It all came together. Like it's just things I didn't do it. That's me and my shitters full hat.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. Is there clips of you doing your shop talk on YouTube and things like that? Like, is there any of those still exist?
I don't think so. When I left, I was expunged.
Yeah. Oops.
Yeah, that's all right. It's not every marriage makes it, right?
No, right.
But I'm proud of the things I did. I'm proud of what I contributed. And when I left, the bank account was filled up with sponsorship dollars. I didn't take anyone's money to go start my own thing. I waited till everything was done, and then I did my other thing.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, no, I didn't want to be that guy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, there's too many of that guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's Ed and Trevor at JT's was just fantastic. Other than that one machine we had to bury when it caught on fire, he got really pissed off about that. But
oh no.
Yeah, no, he didn't take that well.
He really wanted every chassis back.
Oh yeah, no, because like it was his thing, right? I mean, Trevor is a great guy, entrepreneurial, working on his own, and he looks at anything and goes, "There's some value there somewhere." So that was my contract with him, was everything came back. Well, that one thing was on fire so bad we couldn't put it out. Like the front end loader dug a great big hole, dropped it in, and just buried it. And I said, "Well, if you really want me to, I'll go back to that gravel pit and get it dug up again." And he goes, "No, but don't ever do that again." Okay.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. But Trevor was a great supporter of the show. He's fantastic.
Yeah.
The picture we saw before.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you are.
This is a
That's a
snow
young
crusher.
lady.
The snow
Yeah,
crusher.
that is the snow crusher. Yeah, the friend of my dad's. My dad was general sales manager of Molson's, um, and he was really good friends with a fellow that owned a hotel in Toronto, and he came up with this brand new snowmobile and trailer that he just bought and came up to our place just right after Christmas. And it would have been 65. I think the plate says 66 on it, right?
Yep.
So that makes sense. So he would have been up there December, like between Christmas and New Year's, or it might have been just after New Year's of 66. And brought this thing up, and wow, what a hoot. That was just north of Nobleton and up on the 15th side road.
He's a beaut. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Clark.
Opposed twin engine, and they had a little silver knob on the end of the clutch, so you could start them up and the clutch wouldn't engage. And with your hand, you could just smack the chrome. It was like a spun aluminum knob, and it would move out of the way of the weights and allow the clutch to engage after that. It was pretty cool. It did not have reverse, but it had neutral.
Oh, that's
Interesting.
Sweet. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, it was pretty cool. That's a 69 Nordic 371, and that's a 68 Olympic 300. They were 16 horsepower in 68, and then in 69 they went to a 320 and they were 18 horsepower.
Yeah.
And
nice.
I didn't think there'd be much difference between the 16 and the 18. I was pretty cocky, and then I got lined up with an 18 and had my ass handed to me. They were way faster. And then they took the 16 horsepower, they detuned it a bit, and that became the 12.3.
Yeah.
How's that for useless history?
I know.
And now that Nordic, the interesting thing about the Nordic is that's a 1-year wonder engine in that machine. It was a 371, and the year following they were 399s.
Yeah, mine had a 399 in it. Oh, mine was
No, we had a
69.
we had a
Mine was
69. Yeah.
It must have been a 371.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. I didn't have it
Yeah,
that
we
long, unfortunately.
Yeah, we picked one up kind of out of a barn, got it running, had a ski boost for it, but we only had it for a season, basically, once you had it running.
Yeah. It would
Should have kept it.
Yeah, should have. Could.
Just there wasn't enough room, wasn't in the cards. Wife didn't
It was
like
either
it.
feed my family or sell the sled.
Wasn't that? It was either the wife didn't like having it in the garage, took up too much space.
Do you have the picture of the red rup there? That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's coming up. Yeah.
Just how that
Yeah,
was.
so that's
these are
yeah,
nice
so
65s.
that is obviously not the machine, but representative of the first machine I had a snowmobile ride on.
Yeah, sweet.
So, like I was saying, you're sitting there with the engine between your legs, jammed up, and they didn't steer very well. They didn't stop very well, but they went pretty good. It was pretty amazing. And they tip over when you go over snowbanks on the side of the road, apparently. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Very, very, very tippy.
Yeah.
See if you can find that red one. Yeah, those are nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So someone's done just a friggin' incredible job on those, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, that belt guard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
You wouldn't want to, even if the RPMs those things were turning, you wouldn't want to be hit with a belt from that. That's for sure.
Still spinning.
Yeah,
Still spinning a few thousand RPM.
Yeah, 5,000 RPM.
Or a random clutch weight that comes out the back.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
There you go.
This is sweet.
Yeah. So I am 71. I'm 17 years old. So that's a 19. I don't want to tell you the wrong year. I'm sorry. That's a 1970 Rupp. And it originally had a 634 Hearth in it, which was a big old twin cylinder engine. And the Hearths were known to break crankshafts. So, of course, it broke the crankshaft in half. And that engine that we put in it was made by Canadian Curtis Wright. And they were called CCWs. It was a 398cc engine.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you something that I sold a vintage outboard to an older fella over in Wasaga Beach, who's in his mid-90s. and he was telling me about how he used to sell snowmobile engines and stuff like that. And I'm going, yeah. And I said, yeah, I got one from a guy named John Scarlett. He used to work for Canadian Curtis Wright. And he goes, hi, I'm John Scarlett. And I'm like, no way. It was him. It was actually him. It was pretty cool. So anyhow, I fixed the 634. So what I used to do, I could switch the engines back and forth fairly quickly because, I mean, four bolts to hold the engine mounts on. It wasn't very difficult. Fired around the exhaust. So yeah, so there were shenanigans. We used to have lots of fun with that.
That's a nice rup. Very nice.
That's a ride with my father that was in up near Cashy Lake, and the people that did logging up there, it's kind of weird. When they're done logging, they just turn their horses loose. Like they're not in a fenced area. They put a bale of hay out for them, and the horse just kind of hangs around.
Oh, that's funny.
It wasn't tied up or anything. It was quite tolerant. Like my dad and I had horse. Like I used to have a horse when I was a kid, you know, so you know, we knew what not to spook it. But yeah, no, that animal was beautiful, just in the middle of nowhere. It was crazy with a bale of hay.
Yeah. That's fun. And how many horses would they let go in a typical season like that?
I only saw this one horse, but you know, like if you've got a guy, like there's people that will only allow their bush to be done with horses. Like they don't want a skidder in there. They don't want it all torn to crap and stuff. They go, yeah, we don't mind if you come and cull some logs and give us a fair price for it, but you're going to be pulling them out with a horse. So that was one of these situations.
Yeah. I love your father's snowmobile suit.
That was a Kawasaki snowmobile suit, Kawasaki snowmobiles. So I used to, I worked at Manley's for a little while in the 70s, 1976 model year. And they distributed Toro, So Green Fertilizer, Bowen's Lawn Tractors, Kawasaki snowmobiles, or excuse me, not Kawasaki snowmobiles at that time. It was Polaris snowmobiles, Kawasaki motorcycles, and then Kawasaki came with snowmobiles, the Invader and all that stuff.
Invader and Intruder.
Yeah, the Intruder was the air-cooled. The Invader, you could get it in a 340 or a 440. They were liquid cool. And so I had worked for Manley's and got my ass fired out of there too. There's a trend here, isn't there? And
it's not you, it's me, Steve.
Yeah. But the interesting thing is once I got fired out of Manley's, I ended up going to Gilby's Distillers, and that's how I met John Massenberg, and that's how SnowTrax got going. So, you know, the dots all connect. But anyhow, the guy that fired my tail he was instructed to, that let me go in model year 76. When I started working at Gilby's, I was supplying them with all their liquor stuff for all their dealer meetings and dealing with them again. And he says, I hope you know it wasn't me. And I go, well, yeah, I know. It's no big deal. It's okay. It's, you know, I was 21, 22 years old. It was a big deal. On to the next thing, right?
Yeah.
And he left and he went to Honda. And I ended up working for him at Honda for 9 years. But where am I going with this? Bob liked me so much, he gave me 2 frigging brand new Kawasaki snowmobiles and clothing, helmets, and everything else. Just here. He says, one day I'm going to call you and I want you to work for me.
Nice.
Yeah, he did that. And he gave me 2 1978 Z1R 1000 motorcycles to put in my garage too. And I looked at him, I go, how are you doing this? He goes, don't worry about it. He says, they're test motorcycles.
That's great.
Okay. Yeah. Good old memories.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Checkmate.
Yeah. That particular boat is not mine. Oh, this is a this 6 degrees of separation. You'll never guess whose boat that was. The real original Crash snowmobile guy that we named the Sled Ed character after.
Oh, really?
Yeah, his name, yeah, why not? Yeah, he was a good guy. Ed Rabaki was his name. And this is on Cashy Lake. And so you have pictures of a blue checkmate. So that was like a year before this,
Yeah.
or a year or two before this. Yeah, that's
blue one.
so that was my checkmate. It had a 200 on it. It ran really good. It did 74-ish miles an hour. It swung 26 chopper prop. It had a 1.87 gear ratio on it. It turned 5,800 RPM. So your whiz bangs with a calculator can go figure out if I'm full of crap or not, and they'll find out I'm telling the truth.
Yeah, I wish Denon was in the chat. He'd be able to confirm you. He'd back you.
Yeah, he can dig it up. 1.87 to 1. And so anyhow, Ed got that other one with the 225 on it. So this one again, it ran, like 74-ish, but that thing of Ed's with a 225 on it, that was finger ported. That thing ran 80 miles an hour. It was a fast boat, and going back to the day, that's mine with the 200 on it.
What year was that engine?
The engine was a 78. That was the first year of the 200 horsepower.
Yeah,
and
nice.
it was the first year that they did a chrome bore engine in a big block outboard. You could get them in 150s, 175s. They were steel bores, and the 200, all they did was take the cylinder sleeves out, which increased the size of the bore, chromed them, and there you were. That was the original 200s.
Is that the one they called the Tower of Power?
No, Tower of Power. There's a picture of a red boat there.
There,
Right,
the Tower of Power. Yeah, nice and thin.
That's the Tower of Power. So people are going, what the hell's that thing? That's a 14-foot checkmate Barracuda. And that engine was one of Mercury Marine's race engines. It's a 150. They ended up calling them an XS, but this year it was called a 150 short. So the boat was a 20-inch transom. You put a 15-inch transom outboard on it, and you put fancy stainless steel props on it. And that thing ran probably 71, 72 miles an hour. That particular shot is probably going maybe 50. I'm just cruising there.
Yeah.
But it was quite a handful. And I couldn't afford dual ride guide steering, so it only had single ride guide steering on it. It was hard to drive. And
I think there's a video.
There used to be a plastic part you could put on them. It was called a co-pilot that they used to put on 20 horsepower outboards. And it just had a wing nut on it, and then it would hold the engine straight. So,
oh my God.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with that boat.
Yeah.
And
Shelley.
That was Bob Hartnell, the guy that had to fire me from Polaris. That checkmate was his boat with a different engine on it. And when he let me go, I said, I still want to buy your boat. He goes, I can't sell your boat. You just lost your job. I said, don't worry about it. And so anyhow, that was his boat. And then I put the different engine on it.
That's awesome.
And I told my dad, I said, well, it looks like I got the summer off. And he goes, what are you going to do? And I said, well, I'm going to go boating up in Cashy Lake. And I said, can I have a credit card? And he goes, he says, if you don't pay me back, I'll kill you. Well, I paid him back. I paid him every cent back, but I had a summer off with that checkmate. Had a lot of fun.
That's
the power of good credit.
Yeah.
Now Shelley Hilditch says that's too fast to water ski. I think he's referring to the ski post on it.
Yeah, that's right.
So that boat, even though it ran in the 70s, we pulled multiple slalom skiers behind it, and we also pulled kites behind it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
It'd be a great boat to ski. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
Tim rebuilt a 69 Chris Craft Cricket, and he put a 150
Opti on it. Ooh.
Do you have the video of that boat running?
I don't think it's in the chat. I think there's a link. We can put it up there at later.
Okay, because
I don't believe
because
so.
that is something to
It
watch.
is. I should have put that over, but it's an awkward way to get it onto that other computer. So I apologize for that. So
those are Centurions. So they're 1980 Centurions. I was watching television, and I watched. There was a fella. His name was Bud Lee. Used to race Mercury. Well, he actually started racing with speedways. He was from down in Barrie. He owned a cosmetics company, and his son Danny used to race with him, and another son Tim started to race with him too. He used to race the '76 Snow Twisters. So I met Bud in '75. But anyhow, I digress. Danny did this Wasaga Beach race, and he had a '79 Centurion, and they're racing all the newest and the best sleds out there. This Centurion just ate everyone alive at this Wasaga Beach course. And I went, well, I know what I'm going to get. So anyhow, that's my buddy there. Unfortunately, he's a little bit behind me. His name's Ron, and that's me. And the other one, we bought them both brand new from the Racer's Edge in Milton.
very cool.
And that's up in Cashy Lake. So those were 3-cylinder 500s. If you look at a picture of a Centurion engine, and then if you go look at the RXLs, the machines that really freaked everyone out in the late '70s, if you look at them, they look like the identical engine. They were strong sleds. You know, people talk about different sleds of the day and stuff like that. I mean, those things made a mockery of an awful lot of so-called high-performance sleds.
The RXL was only a 440 though, wasn't it?
RXLs, you could get them in 250, 440s, and they must have made a 650 as well.
Oh, okay, I got you. There you go.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. That's what Jerry Bunky used to race, and Jerry was, unfortunately, he was killed in an accident with Brad Hewlins racing. Yeah, that's Ron and I out in the Centurions having a little bit of fun.
He dangles.
Yeah, well, they work good. They work good. There's a guy on YouTube now that I was zinging him a little bit a couple of years ago because it was all clutched wrong. He threw a 650 in one of these, 650 Indy engine.
Yeah.
And he's got a clutch right now. It goes good. He's having a lot of fun. Like these sleds only weighed 420 pounds because they didn't have IFS and all that stuff on them. They were just
right.
sleds. So they had a decent rear suspension, Yokohama rubber track, and good weight transfer and stuff like that. They were fun, but the front end was a little. Well, my theory is if it's not on the snow, I guess you really don't need it, right?
No, that's true. Right.
Oh, complete 180. But anyways,
there we go. See, I told you they're not in order. We're gonna keep you on your toes tonight.
Yeah, that's my first 900 turbo.
Nice.
That's not an R. That's before they had an R, so that's 150 horsepower version.
Yeah, that's a 2019, maybe.
Yeah,
something like that. I think.
I'd like to tell you I keep up to that. I don't know. It's my rule is if they need carbides, new sled.
Is that right? Yeah, good rule.
Yeah. I've done enough bearing changes over the years. I've got the scars to prove it.
Yeah.
I'm good.
These are pretty desirable. That's our friend Doug, who was in the chat earlier. He's
got a 2021.
He bought a 21, same engine as that, and I guess you can tune them right on the dash, where you can on the new ones.
No. The thing is, you don't have to jailbreak or run a standalone ECU. You can just get a tuner.
Oh,
that plugs into the OB, that plugs into the buds, and tune them right off the thing. You don't have to break the ECUs.
I got you. Okay.
There's no extra work. You can download tunes off the internet. You don't have to send it to Hurricane and then send you a new ECU back for over $1,000 is the idea.
Yeah. Doug P loves his sled. That's the thing. He loves that sled.
Yeah, it was really a good runner. Like I had no problems with it. the funny thing with the 150, and I know you're going to have people go, "Oh, he's so full of crap," whatever. But my buddy had an 850 Polaris, and typically this would beat the 850 Polaris, typically. But there were days, for whatever reason, it would not run with the 850 Polaris. It was just, I don't know if it was an atmosphere or pressure thing. It just wouldn't. And there was other days it would beat him handily. And
Two strokes like the cold, four strokes don't.
yeah, well, yeah, four strokes don't mind cold either. Cold air is dense air.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Especially with the turbo, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, they're great sleds. I love them.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's up. That's heading up towards Owenda Park there.
Yeah. Georgian Bay snow riders.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was yeah. Oh yeah, what a memory. COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
2021.
drive around, freeze our friggin' ass off, have to use a washroom and this and that and everything, and let's go buy something and eat it
Yeah. Eat it on your sled. Yeah.
in a frickin' parking lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyhow,
And they're
we all
telling us
got
we
we
shouldn't.
all got through it, right?
They're telling us we shouldn't even be riding, which was dumb. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That was.
Got my
Yeah,
second one back
that's
there.
that's coming down Sea Trail.
Yeah.
That'd be well north of Port Severn,
Oh, cool.
south of MacTier.
Yeah.
I really like how you're running two Link tunnel bags that are identical. You don't believe in the extra fuel, or?
I have a fuel caddy. I would. It's pretty hard not to be in a situation where you can't get fuel. So you can't really tell me a logical reason to be carrying 50 pounds on the back, 40 pounds on the back, because it's way back that you carry them.
Yeah.
I mean, I have it. Like if I was going to go on a ride where you go, no, you have to have it. Well, then you have to have it. And but also, I'm one of those guys. If I do have it, I also empty it out as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So when
I try to use it. If I get it in the morning before going out, when I pull my sled into the garage at night, I'll usually put that can in at the end of the day, just because you don't have that gas sitting.
Me, I put it in when I'm riding. I want to get the weight off the back of the sled. I just don't like.
I treat it like a condom. It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
When I come up with a crafty answer, I'll get right back to you.
Okay. We had to use them Saturday night.
At Sportsman Lodge.
Yeah, at Sportsman's Lodge, our favorite.
That is Sportsman's Lodge. It certainly is.
Yeah.
Good time.
That looks late.
So that little building off to the right there that they don't use anymore, that was where SnowTrax had their headquarters.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Like all the time.
Well, we were up there a lot. We shot most of the eds up there. We did most of the product testing up there because you could count. Sudbury could be getting rain, and if you go to the Sportsman's Lodge, it's got elevation. So you'd be driving in the Sportsman's Lodge, heading up that damn dirt road.
Oh God!
So why the hell are we even doing this? And you're driving, and it's raining, and next thing you know, it's wet snow. And next thing you know, it's fluffy snowflakes. And you go, wow. And it's a bit of elevation. So that spot saved our friggin' tail. Sled Ed number 1, he comes out down those stairs there underneath that roof and goes out and takes the seat off the Olympic and is smashing it up. That's where we shot Sled
Crazy
Ed.
how ingrained Sportsman Lodge is with the history of
sure.
that show. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Well, but I met the fella, his father, and he and his brother were owners of it.
Mm-hmm.
His father built it, and he was a car salesman for Suzuki, for Sudbury Suzuki. And so I met him in 91 or 92, 1991. And we became really good friends. He was a great guy, Terry Loney. And his brother's name's Mike. So that was their business. The father started it. they ran it for years and years and years, and then they sold it, and it's changed hands twice since.
Yeah.
It's still Jim still has it. Yeah.
I think he
Yeah,
had it
yeah,
for sale. I
yeah.
think he had it for sale.
Jim's a really nice guy. He really is.
He is.
We missed him last year though. He had
He was sick.
pneumonia last year or
yeah.
something bad like that last year. And we had our group ride there, but no, great guy.
Yeah,
Great fella. And back to the old stuff.
The rock.
There's my dad.
Right on.
An old Spitfire pilot. Legit. Yeah, we had fun with that sled. That was a great sled. And for people that talk about how we don't get the snow that we used to and everything else, well, that was in Nobleton, and that was in February.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
It's always been like this.
Yeah.
We did not, like back then. If the grass was white, good enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're talking bogey wheels.
Yeah.
Talking cheap runners, and off we go.
Yeah. Well, the bogies didn't need a lot of
And most
love
slugs were air cooled. A lot of slugs were
and they're
air
air cooled. Yeah. So
Yeah. No, they work good. And a lot of good memories of that old girl. That's my dad again. That was my first new snowmobile that I ever bought. It was an 87 600.
yeah, nice. That is sweet. I love seeing the pictures, the old photos of the brand new sleds of the day where they're shiny and then all the decals are intact. And you have a really nice jacket there, man. Like that's classy.
Well, my dad's wearing, because I was working for Honda at that time. So that is a actual Honda jacket that my dad's wearing. And I've got a classic old Polaris TX jacket on.
Yeah. And I think if you watch back 2 episodes, you'll see other people with that same jacket on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they were, it was pretty cool. That's half an hour away from the Sportsman's.
Okay. And we probably stopped there for photos too.
Yeah, there's
That's a video. That's cool.
Yeah. The guy with the Arctic Cat, not that it matters, but it does. He's a great guy. Reuben McMurder. He's a well-known motorcycle racer from back in the day. So I met him when I worked at Honda, and we still ride together.
Right on.
Yeah, he's a great guy. Yeah.
You've been out. It seems like you've ridden almost everywhere. Is there any place you can say is your favorite must-go-to destination?
I think what I like, the tough thing about making a recommendation is the person goes there and for whatever reason the groomer's broken or things aren't being taken care of and they go, oh yeah, this is a shit show, right? It's just I encourage people just to get out there and because you're going to see things snowmobiling that you're not going to see any other way. People can talk about ATVing and stuff like that. You will see more with a snowmobile than you ever will with an ATV. Why do I say that? Because snowmobiles can get over top of frozen bogs and stuff like that and go places, and you're snookered with an ATV. I mean, I learned that doing my show ATV Adventures, because we used to go up to the Sportsman's to shoot some of that. There was lots of areas we just couldn't get to. This is the Moon River Falls. So that's south of Perry Sound, just north of 12 Mile Bay.
Yep.
And that's my oldest boy in the red. That's Dean. And we ran up on the ice there. It was just a beautiful day. Yeah.
Very cool. You still ride with Dean a lot?
Dean and I were riding together on Sunday, and my youngest, his name's Royce. He was out with us as well. He was on the Voyager with the 4S, the 1000cc non-turbo.
Cool.
Yeah, it's that machine's a surprise how well it goes. It is. I didn't hold high expectations for it, but it runs well.
Yeah.
It runs well.
Ooh, that's a cool place.
Yeah, like look at this. Where's this lighthouse?
That's Georgian Bay. That's called Braybuff.
Oh, okay, cool.
So my daughter Laura was a coxswain with the Canadian Coast Guard, and that was her base. That's where
Oh,
she had the
neat.
27-foot Zodiac, and that's where they were based out of. Which is, you could see it. It's basically Bosley Island,
Okay.
so basically Honey Harbor, that kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah, and yeah, it's incredible structures. I don't know how it happened. Someone actually was able to buy that island and the lighthouse. I don't know. Don't know.
You think the government would own that, but that's funny. So do they actually use it as a cabin, or what do they?
It's a cottage now.
Yeah.
It's still a running navigation light, so they must have come to some agreement that it can be maintained,
Yeah.
but you don't have to man them anymore.
No, right. The technology.
Just like back in the day, someone had to live in the damn thing.
That's right. It's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they were candles, weren't they?
Like a kerosene thing.
Yeah.
This is at the Cortha Cup.
That's Villeneuve. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to be clear. Almost every image that you're going to see here, except for some of the real old stuff, were mine. But this is not my image. I have no idea who took it. It's a great shot. I love it. And I was at the Cortha Cup when that twin track thing was out, giving people a lesson. Because if they could keep it running, like at this point, they still hadn't put the great big, they almost looked like culverts that went into the thing to duct the air in, because they couldn't keep belts on it. The belt temperature would get up, the engine temperature was going up, the belts would get hot, and it shattered. Just a belt, once it gets to around 400 degrees, they come apart.
Yeah.
So he'd be going like a bugger with it. I saw that sled, and I have seen the shot online. And I was right there when it happened. It went so sideways, like the skis on the front. Obviously, the skis on the front, but they would turn almost 90 degrees, almost. So like the sled it looked like it was hopelessly out of control. And the back end started to grab, the skis were turned like right, as far right as he could. And the front end came back in line, and off he went, and he won the friggin' heat.
Yeah. Crazy. Well, that's the thing. It had twin tracks with limited slip differential in them, right? So the one track.
I'm not sure that this had a differential. Skidoo did when they Skidoo came in with the twin tracks. Yes, they had clutches on them. I'm not sure that this would have, but it could go into a corner quite hot, and he wasn't afraid to do that kind of stuff. I mean, he showed that when he was driving Ferraris.
Yeah.
But this guy would show up with a friggin' chopped off school bus with his wife and 2 kids, and I think he had 2 kids.
Yeah.
And he'd work on his sleds, and they'd live in that bloody school bus at Cortha Cup.
Holy.
It was blue. It was like the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
But he was so dedicated. So that's Jill in the low machine, and Jacques is in the other machine. And Jacques still he raced for years and years and years and years.
One of the best Formula One drivers ever, right there.
Yeah, he's a legend.
Yeah, no, great guys. Like they were true competitors, and a lot of the design work was his. Like the stuff that floated around that guy's brain was pretty cool. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
They liken that to having a full-fledged Indy car on the snow, right?
Yeah. So this is kind of an interesting shot. This sled. Everyone's going, well, yeah, it's no, it's not. It's a pro stock. They were hand built by Jerry Carpet.
Yeah.
And they were to race in the 56 horsepower C stock class. and they were like shooting fish in a barrel. I mean, there was nothing that could run with them in C class. It was crazy. They even had an adjuster on the suspension. You could take them from having regular height suspension. So if you're cross country racing,
Yeah.
you could just like I'm paraphrasing a bit here, but you flip a lever and the machine would drop down several inches.
Holy cow.
Yeah, they were absolutely remarkable. So this is Larry from Larry's Small Engines down in Orangeville.
Right
Yep.
on.
And oh man, we had a hoot with that sled. I mean, he ended up putting a 617 in it, and oh man, we had some fun. It's just a lot of fun.
That's a big
Yeah,
sled
big
that,
credit. I'm thinking about it.
in that
Yeah,
era.
Larry and I had a lot of laughs. I met Larry. I signed him up as a Honda dealer in 1982, and he's still a Honda dealer today.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah. So there's Larry. Larry is not happy because that's the Pro Stock again,
Yeah.
and that's my Indy that was called Chicken. That's the one you've got pictures there somewhere of it with a turbocharger on it.
Oh,
And people,
sweet.
and people are going, no way, didn't have a. Yes, it did. I didn't own it when it was raced, but there was a poultry farmer from Western Ontario bought that sled, turbocharged it with a Middlesex turbo on it, and he was a legend with it. And I bought it. He finally traded it in at J&J sales down in Burford, and I bought it when because they were a dealer of mine when I was working at Honda, and I bought it blown up. And I told Larry about it, and I said, I'm going to go pick it up in a week or so. I can get down again. He says, I'll go pick it up for you. I go, yeah, you do that? And he goes, yeah, I don't mind. I'll drive down. I get a phone call the next day. He used to call me pal. He goes, pal. He says, you got to get up here. I go, what? He says, we're wheeling our farm all over the place with this turbo.
That's awesome.
He freaking put it together. He went down, picked it up, worked all night on it, got it going, was out ripping the hell out of the farm the next day with it. And you couldn't trail ride it. There was nothing you could do to trail ride it. But if you did a point and shoot, it was pretty impressive. And you can Google Middlesex performance for 600 Indies, and you'll read the horsepower, and you'll go, what? Really?
What did it claim?
190 to 200 horsepower.
I love it.
So he had a machine that he had an SRX that he had set what was I always understood was a record. It was 500 feet, and in 500 feet it went 100 miles an hour with a 440 SRX. So I told him I drove this thing. I went up and drove it, and I said, I think this thing's really fast. And Larry goes, he says, pal, don't make me bring out the Legend. And I go, I think you better go get it. So he brings out the Legend. Well, his nickname after that was Sod Face, because this thing gave him a rooster tail of sod that he never forgot. It like I said, it point and shoot, it was pretty impressive. But as soon as you let the throttle off, because the boost, the carburetors were boosted as well as the airbox. Does that make sense? So anything to do with the drainage system on the carbs was hooked up to the airbox. So when you let off the throttle, it didn't release the pressure because the lines were so small in the carbs, and it would flood the engine. So, but once you got it running, cleared out and pointed and shoot again, it was quite a party. But anyhow, it made a great trail sled. I punched it out, made it a 650, and I think it was a 650 here with a single pipe. It ran good.
Right on.
Oh, that was my first Indy 600.
Those are nice. I love the seat, the stripes on the seat. That's classic.
Yeah, that was an 83. Got that from Hugh Thompson up in Aurelia. It was one model year old when I got it. I was pretty excited. Ran good. It was a good running sled. I had lots of fun with it.
Right on. The Pointsky love your story with Larry in there.
Yeah.
He says that's a cool story with
Yeah.
Yeah.
Larry's still hard at it. Still works on stuff. He makes things go. He's remarkable. So this shot here, that's we're shooting sled Ed at the property of JT's in New Lowell. Yeah, that was in his field, and we had the OPP there and all sorts of things. It was quite a day. And
Did you guys? I know you used a dummy on the stunt shots, but did you guys always have the OPP and safety protocols? Like, did you have the ambulance on call, or was that not something you worried about?
you're talking to the guy that ended up telling a guy to hold the throttle wide open and let off when I tell him to through the communicator. No, no, no. We always use common sense. Like I said, my biggest fear was it wasn't when Ed was driving, because Ed was a master on the thing. He got it. He was at one. It didn't matter what machine we put him on. He just got it.
Yeah.
But when you had to put the mannequin on, pull the recoil, and let it go, that's when it got a little freaky.
Yeah, you don't know where that thing's gonna go, right?
No, they get a mind of their own. So
Yeah.
that's when I came up with the protocol of it has to have limited fuel and stuff like that. So it could only run for like 20 seconds and then would shut off. But in 20 seconds, you can still do a lot of damage if the thing turns around and starts chasing the camera crew.
I take it that happened before, the way you're saying that.
Ask me no questions, I'll tell you no lies.
Yeah, that's right. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great shot. Okay, because people need to be mentioned here. The fellow with the green coat behind the dog,
Yep.
that's Mike Loney. So that was the son of the fellow that built the Sportsman's Lodge.
Oh, cool.
The gal sitting behind Sled Ed, that's Kathy. She was like their manager there. That's the gal that made the call to the rail line and got the locomotive thing all sorted out for us. That's me behind. There's people there that were just random people that were snowmobilers and stuff. And
Yeah.
And the fella that looks like he's a freaking superstar by the hood there, that's Colin. He was our audio guy. And the fella down in the front, his name was Smitty. He in the first year, he was the guy that really put the format together. He knew how to make it happen. He was an extremely talented man, and he really he made the way that the thing flowed and everything else. He just made it rock. And unfortunately, he died too young. But there you go. He'll make quite an impression on me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that's Smitty again on the left, and that's another shot of that earlier shot we saw in JT's field there when we were doing all the stuff. Yeah, good memories.
Yeah. Bruce Mellenbacher commented on my comment and said, ambulance, LMFAO.
Oh man. I saw him do a maneuver. I was thinking to myself, if that was me, it would have been 911 if I was lucky, right?
Yeah.
We were up at Snow Valley on the ski resort. They closed the friggin' ski resort early so we could go shoot Ed's on their ski hill because we needed snow. Oh yeah, people have treated us so good. And we're up there, and they've got this. It literally is like a modified culvert, and it's sharp, right? Like, the end of it, it's. So what does Ed do? He goes underneath the friggin' thing because it's up in the air a bit, and does the limbo, leans backwards, and just goes right underneath it and out the other end, sits up again like nothing happened. I'm going, I would have lopped my head off.
Wild.
Oh yeah, well, it was quite a day. I bet you he's laughing now. I bet you he forgot about it.
Yeah.
So that's after I left SnowTrax, I started with Bruce, the fellow that's commenting.
Yeah.
We started ATV adventures and also off the dock adventures. So that was our production crew vehicles. When we pulled into town, people knew we were there, and we had a lot of fun. We did a lot of promotion, and
Yeah,
and,
very, very cool.
and you know, we did it. We did a lot of. I'm not patting myself on the back, but it's fair to say we did a lot of good for the industry. We really worked hard, and we were really well supported by the industry too.
Sounds like it too. Was Nissan? That's a brand new Nissan Frontier. Were they a sponsor of the show?
Um, a fellow by the name of it was a fellow I worked with at Honda, and he went to Nissan, and he was in management there, and he knew I was doing the television show, and he goes, "Steve, I can't sponsor you. I'm sorry, but he says, I'll tell you what though. He says, I got a brand new truck you can have if it'll help you out." And I said, "Sure." So I mean, we didn't even have to put Nissan decals on anything. He just gave us the truck for the summer.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, he's a great guy, and I still do stuff with him. He's the president of Suzuki now.
Oh, cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So Suzuki is one of my largest clients, and if you connect the dots together, you will recall I got fired by Suzuki.
Yeah. That's funny. What goes around comes around.
It ain't over till it's over.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah. So anyhow, yeah, that's Nobleton in the '60s. That's the snow cruiser.
Yeah. Towing a skier behind you.
Yeah, down on our pond. We had a great little pond there. Lots of fun.
Back in the day, so actually go to the next shot, I think. No, that's not it. You've got a shot where actually there's behind, I think, one of the bubble noses, they're undoing a ski rope. We're going to see that coming up, but
yeah, it's actually behind us. They're skiing right there. If you look at the far left-hand side, they're skiing there. That's my sister and her boyfriend.
Was that something that the manufacturers promoted as part of the,
back in the day, man, you didn't wear a helmet. You did everything. You pulled toboggans behind on ropes and put on the brakes and let the kids come up and get involved in the tracks, all that kind of stuff. That's how it was done.
It was in the ads. It was in the ads.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And definitely wouldn't wear a helmet.
They had the guy's wife skiing behind the snowmobile in the ads, and it's like you were saying, there's so many injuries and deaths and stuff back in the day.
Well, it's the sleds weren't fast enough to kill you on their own, so you had to find creative ways to wrap yourself up or friggin' mangle yourself on one. Once the sleds got fast enough, they're like,
yeah,
maybe we shouldn't promote dangerous things on our machines.
I'll tow behind on your snowboard on my 850.
Trust me, with snowmobiling, you didn't need to go too fast through a barbed wire fence.
No, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's just
there's a lot of goofy things happened back in the day because, again, this was before trails were happening.
Yeah. I love this shot. I love coming across things like this as a tugboat, and you're sitting beside it with your snowmobile.
Yeah, that's up in Lake Nipissing.
Yeah, neat.
Yeah, we took a rip, and we had quite a ride. It was something else. But yeah, it's kind of a cool boat, eh?
Yeah, I love seeing things like that.
Same trip.
Yeah, nice.
The fella closest to you was the fella that was in front of the boat in that other shot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So whereabouts is this? It looks like a ski hill there on the right.
That is near. It's not that far from North Bay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
Very
I don't
mountainous.
know if that's actually a ski hill there or if it's just one of those things.
Oh, logging roads or something.
Yeah.
probably closer to Shining Tree.
Yeah, with the power lines
north-ish.
like that.
Power
Yeah.
lines as well as the elevation, because like the highest point in elevation in Ontario isn't far from Shining Trees area.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
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 Anyways.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good ride. Yeah.
Hmm.
That's in Quebec. Yeah.
yeah,
Ooh.
nice.
Yeah.
Is that the bridge that goes from Ontario to Quebec?
No,
No.
no, that's right in the guts of it.
Okay.
That's my fat head.
Nice.
Yeah, not that nice. Nice enough.
yeah.
It's the only head I have. Yeah. And that is what's that lake called where it wasn't good? It was a bunch of tourists went through the ice. That's I think on that trip. It's northern Quebec.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not familiar with much in Quebec.
Yeah, yeah. It was,
That's a Polaris windshield if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, that's an Adventure 800.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, yeah, they're good running sleds.
Another great shot.
Yeah, I got yelled at by all the guys. You're slowing us down. You're making us wait. I go, frig off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a long bridge.
Yeah, it took me half an hour to get my hands warm after. There's nothing worse than picking up a cold camera, like a camera that's minus a bajillion degrees. It friggin' your hand is instantly frozen in your hands.
Yeah.
That was always the problem with doing SnowTrax. Oh man.
Yeah.
Handling the camera gear and stuff like that.
Keeping your batteries warm, and I can imagine like the technology today is so much better, and I still have problems with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the crazy thing is like I use Osmos. Some people use GoPros and stuff. I use Osmos. People go, "Why do you use Osmos?" And I go, "Because they build all the drones I fly."
Yep. We use he uses an Action 3 and I use an Action 5 Pro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best action cameras on the market. People always ask us, "Oh, you guys use GoPro?" Nope. We have not touched a GoPro since the Hero 3. We net lost more footage with the GoPro than we ever gained with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, the Osmo is it's a remarkable piece of technology.
Mm-hmm.
I can stick a suction cup on the side of a snowmobile and the camera is friggin' orbiting it while you're idling. You're going, this isn't going to work, and it's perfect. The film is friggin' perfect.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
The new Rocksteady Plus that's on mine, my Action 5, it's incredible. I did a shot where I went mountain biking with it just on like a chest mount, and it's flopping around the whole time my chest, and I get back in the footage and it's dead smooth. It's focused right on the bars. It took a beautiful shot. It shoots in beautiful 4K 60 or I think actually up to 120, but
it's really remarkable stuff. Yeah.
Takes good photos too, which is great for an action camera because a lot of them don't have good photo sensors, but
Chris Watson says Northern Quebec was Trail 93 that you're on there.
Of course
well, I appreciate when I'm following my son, some parts of my brain shut off.
Yeah.
I will not attest to anything other than that.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you follow, you drool out the side of your mouth and enjoy the view.
Yeah.
Yeah. This shot was taken in Victoria Harbor here on Sunday.
Oh, it's sweet. Lots of snow.
It's unbelievable.
So I'm assuming that sled without a person is your current 900?
The silver one, yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
I'm actually there.
You are the one with the silver one. Okay, yeah. Nice.
Yeah, and my two sons are the two fellas on the left. So Dean's got a 900R, and Royce has got the 4S Polaris.
Nice.
Very cool.
And you even had a comp turbo out with you too. I can see the little R on that MXZ.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a 600R and another 900R.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Oh, that's out of sequence. That's back to the trip where the shot of Doug, the last guy in the line there in front of the boat. Same trip.
Oh, neat.
Yeah. Good running. Good time.
There we go.
That's Sunday as well.
Yeah, sweet.
That's in Midland.
Okay, yeah.
Can you believe the snow? It's crazy.
Oh, it's insane how much snow we have right now. Ridiculous.
It's just crazy. Yeah. Yeah, and everything was running pretty good.
Scroll up and scroll down. That's all you have to do.
We're dealing with a couple of things.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sugarcoat stuff. We're dealing with a couple of things with that Polaris. Is we're having trouble with it over revving.
Oh wow.
And it's very odd. Like myself, if I was working on it myself, I would change the clutch spring and find something that's got a lower constant on the high end, which would allow the RPM to stay down. And I think what it's coming down to is because it's a combination of utility and sport, because it's a really long track and stuff. They maybe have it geared a little bit weird, but we have seen 140 kilometers indicated on it. But if right now, if you open up the throttle at 117K, the rev limiter turns on.
Oh really?
And if you back the throttle off to half throttle, it goes 130 something.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're blasting through the power band.
Yeah,
It's like clutching.
it goes up to 80, 400, 8350.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's too much for a 4-stroke. You don't.
Yeah.
That's high.
Yeah, well, ironically, these twins, they are happy at 8,200 RPM.
Oh.
Whereas the Skidoos, they don't run their 4-strokes that high. But
Yeah.
the Polaris 1 liter is it's an 8,000 plus RPM engine. But if you get up too high, it shuts down. And boy, when she shuts down, do you ever know it?
Yeah. Actually, there's a good comment here from Bruce Mellenbacher. He said, Steve and I tried to focus on SnowTrax excursions that a typical person or family could afford. There are amazing locations in Ontario and Quebec.
Yeah, he is 100% right. the thing that Bruce and I concurred with was this isn't about us having fun that you can't have. That wasn't our goal. Our goal was to attract people to the activity and give them good reasons why it could be. So that's a very savvy remark that Bruce brought up, because yeah, we were aware of that. It's we weren't trying to portray it as an elite activity. Well, it's pretty hard not to nowadays. $100,000 trucks, $20,000 trailers, $25,000 sleds. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
But, yeah. Yeah, isn't that beautiful, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, these birds here, that next shot, this isn't going to be the most glamorous comment you're ever going to hear. And it wasn't us that did it, not that we never have. But those birds are going to where someone had a pee.
Yes. I can see
okay.
that.
Yeah.
Right? So they're after whether it's salt or whatever. I don't think it's booze.
Yeah. You know, if they start stumbling around.
Yeah. Beautiful birds.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a Quebec ride. They run cables through all the sleds, so if someone undoes the cable to steal a sled, it sets off an alarm system.
Oh, that's a good security tactic.
Yeah.
So does everybody have to leave at
Yes,
the
but to
same
say
time
I'd
then,
be a
or-
little pissed if the asshole that's parked their sled in front of me sleeps into 11 a.m. when I'm trying to ride at 6. But
Well, I mean, once it's officially daylight breakfast time, people are out moving around and stuff. The cables are put away.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Right. And when there's two machines stacked up like they are, those guys are riding together.
Yeah, I got you. I see. I hear you.
Yeah.
That's neat.
Yeah.
That looks like a nice hotel.
It was really comfortable. And, the nice thing is when you're tired out, and because, hey, I ain't a kid anymore, you stumble off the sled with sore knees, and there you are. The door's right there to get into the room.
Yeah.
It's great.
Very handy.
Yeah, it's a fantastic area.
Yeah. There's the front of the card that we seen the back of earlier.
That's exactly right. So that card is made to Ruben, and Ruben is the motorcycle racer I told you about.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ruben McMurder.
Yeah. Slow down. I can't keep up. Sled Ed. 98. Sign that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Most of us are still around. We're still having fun. Ruben and I are planning a ride here shortly. So
Oh, sweet.
yeah,
Well, this is that video. Might as well
Yeah.
play it again.
Yeah,
yeah,
everybody
it
loves
is
it.
fun. No audio, eh?
I might
No,
have to
we don't
turn
have
it-
audio from this computer to that computer. We just got to start loading up the stuff on that one.
Yeah, well, I can get audio there. I just got to figure out where it's coming from. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That explosion is insane.
Yeah,
And to hear
it
your
is.
your take on it, that made me laugh the other night when we talked. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was sure you could watch an explosion and then move behind the tree and you were safe. No, you watch the explosion and the metal's already in the tree. Yeah, that's my youngest. A few
The
years ago,
fusion,
on a Fusion
Yikes.
600,
yeah,
and people were so critical about the Fusion snowmobiles. That thing was that thing was a wonderful snowmobile. It was really quick. Like there were 126, 128 horsepower. It was the HO
yeah,
and totally reliable. It was a great sled.
yeah. My friend has a Fusion 900. I think it still runs today, and he loved it. And the previous owner he got it from had no issues, but it was
Yeah.
voted as the boat anchor of the year, right?
Well, the 900 they had to do an awful lot of updates on, but that wasn't the case with the 600. The 600s just ran. They were good runners. And that's the same chassis that they put the turbos in, the FSTs as well, the four-stroke turbos, the
Mhm.
Webers. And I probably had 10 of those over the years. They were great performers.
That's
People
wild.
people wouldn't take them seriously. Yeah, they were good runners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sled Tube says he still remembers over 10 years ago running into a guy trailside. We chatted for a while, and he seemed very knowledgeable. It was Steve.
So where's this fella from? I bet you this is the guy from Sudbury.
Possibly. He's in our chat every week.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's awesome. Very
I,
cool.
I wouldn't be surprised. There was a fella I met and we had some great conversations. He was riding an enduro skidoo, and
I think that adds up.
and he was really bitter about the fact that they went four stroke, and to go four stroke they made the fuel tank smaller,
Right.
and he was very upset about that. I wouldn't be surprised if that was him because we had numerous conversations, and that guy he put on the miles, man. Like,
Yeah.
He was out there. He was making it happen.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And these
Yeah.
adventures are good sleds. Nunzio had one year and loved it.
Yeah, no, they're good runners. This was the trip. I opened up that center case in the back, and my oldest boy Dean, he knows that if I go tilt, I'm not happy. It ruins my day. I opened up the case. The whole jug of oil had popped the lid off.
Oh no.
So there was 4 liters of VES oil in the case. Yeah, that
Dean
was
had that
special.
happen to him, remember?
Yeah.
His buddy had that happen. Used to carry a little thing of the skidoo oil with him. But what does he say he does now? He puts it in something now and he takes it. He has this he has like some system he uses. He puts it in something else, and if it explodes, it doesn't cover his gloves.
I have the perfect cure for it.
Sled Tube says
That's
he's
from Laura, and we chatted about SnowTrax. Yeah, okay, yeah. We my cure for it now is all my oil is in the crankcase.
That's what I was saying on the weekend to
Until
Brad too.
until Brad's sled lit on fire,
but
I was
that
pissed about the oil.
Yeah, no, but that's the thing. Last year I had a mock Z demo, and how nice it was not to put oil in the machine.
Yeah,
Like I really do want a 900 turbo. I think that would be awesome. Like the fact you didn't have to put oil in was just unbelievable. It was so convenient.
yeah. The 900Rs. I mean, there's guys out there. They don't even drive them, and they're getting them tuned and everything else. And then you see them on forums, and they got something quirky going on here and something quirky there. And I go, yeah, it's called leave it stock, turn the key, well, not even a key on them, push the
Yeah.
button and go.
Yeah.
I mean, they work great.
Oh, they do. They do. Then that's plenty of power. It's sneaky power. You know?
Yeah, it's very smooth. It's very linear, and yeah, it's a big thrill.
Yeah. I just love when you got on the lakes. It just would be. It seemed endless. It would just. You could run that thing, and it would just pull and pull and pull, and that's where it liked it the best, right?
Yeah, they're fantastic sled in Quebec because there are trails in Quebec that if there is a speed limit, no one knows it.
Yeah.
And it's really wide. You know, I mean, trails can be 20 feet wide and stuff. They're all over the place, and yeah, they run really well in that kind of situation.
Yeah, and with smart shocks too, it makes a huge difference, right? They handle so nice.
Yeah, I'm running smart shocks. I don't know if I'd buy them again. I don't know. I'd have to reflect on it.
Yeah.
I don't mind the XRS shocks either.
Oh, XRS is a good shock.
Yeah.
That's what we run.
It's a lot of money for that smart shock upgrade because you have to get the gauge package with it too. So
I don't think so.
You didn't in 22.
In 22 you could. In 22 because it was a switch with that because they had that smaller digital display, which quite frankly really sucked. And then when they went to the big gauge to equip smart shocks with them, you have to get that gauge package because it's all in that hand controller on the side that is in the gauge.
Yeah,
they don't have like a physical switch.
You may be bang on because that's how my sled is.
Yeah.
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 There you go.
This shot here, you can't stage. It's freaking
That's
awesome.
amazing.
You got the two bubble nose. You've got two metal cans of gas there. And what is that in the background? Is that like a Datsun?
I don't know. It could be a little shitbox opal. I don't know.
I was thinking it might have been something by the American Motor Company as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
American Motors wasn't that ugly. That's really ugly. That's a mistake. That's an overseas mistake from back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what a great shot though. I'm telling you.
Yeah, those Olympics are 69. They could be 70s too, I guess.
I think 70 they put those.
Yeah, they probably 70s because of the scoops, but it looks like they're, well, I don't know. You could get them as 320s or 399s. You had a choice of the two of them.
Yeah. Pretty sweet shot.
Oh, we saw that shot before.
Yeah.
This one here I had to blow up for the fans that are watching here.
God.
Yeah. I raced Hobies competitively. I was nationally rated.
Oh,
I used to do really well.
That's very cool.
And this was at a regatta on Georgian Bay, and that was if you go back to the snow cruiser picture, there was the two guys in the trailer and a little girl in the middle.
Yeah.
That's the little girl in the middle.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, her name was Cindy. And she was able to join me for a day there at the regatta. It was a 3-day regatta. And so she could sail with me one day. And I had to change crews 3 times. My buddy used to race with me, so he was there for one day and he had to go. And then Cindy came up for the next day, and I was doing really well in the races, and she had to go. And the next day I have no one to sail with, and you have to have a crew. It's a rule. These were Hobie 18s, and so there was a gal on the beach. And I said, "Hi, how are you?" And she goes, "I'm good." And I go, "What you doing here?" And she goes, My husband's out racing with his friend, and they're so excited." And I go, "Oh, that's cool. Do you want to come out and race with me?" And she goes, "I don't know anything about sailing." And I said, "All you have to know is if I ask you, and I trust I'm polite, to stay still. I need you to stay still. I need you to sit where I need you to sit," because weight balance was everything on these things. If the transom was in the water, they slowed down. If you steered too much, they slowed down. So anyhow, we went out and we kicked her husband's ass really
Oh,
bad.
nice.
Oh, really bad. And she's going, "Hi, honey, look at me."
That's
Yeah,
Amazing.
classic.
yeah, it's a good story. Yeah, so that was a Hobie 18. I had two of those and raced them quite a bit in Ontario.
Nice.
Yeah,
God, you've done it all, man.
that's my pride and joy.
Yeah.
There's the young guy,
Yeah.
and at that point, I was working with John Massenberg, and John is the fella with Bruce and I that started SnowTrax.
Yeah. Right on. Did you guys ever talk about doing a boating show?
I did one.
Oh, you
Bruce
did?
and I
Okay.
It's called Off the Dock Adventures. It was on TSN.
Oh, you did mention that. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Keith says good
There's
story.
there's Larry with chicken.
Nice. That guy's got class.
Oh man, that was so funny. I mean, he just went down, picked the thing up, and he had it running the next like crazy. Worked all night on it.
That's sweet.
I signed. You see that red building there?
Yeah.
I shouldn't tell you the story. This is bad, but hey, what are they going to do? Fire me? I signed Larry Wilson up as a Honda dealer in that chicken coop.
Wow, really?
And I had to go and take pictures of signs and buildings that maybe weren't his buildings and signs, maybe. But he's still a dealer today.
Yeah.
That was my first Hobie. I had only sailed once or twice in my life, and that was about 3 days after I bought that. And that's a 16, and it was called a Yoki was the sail package, and German people used to go crazy for it, and I was too young and dumb to realize it, but it's got so much of the German flag and the colors of the sails.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
Yep.
Yeah, because the German people just loved that boat. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was Penetang Bay. Having lots of fun.
How fast did they go? Miles an hour, not knots.
If that boat, they were noted and known to run over 20 miles an hour. But what was very susceptible to happen with the 16s is you can see how low the hull is on the downwater side.
Yeah.
You can just see the tip of it sticking up. They would stick the nose underwater, and it's called pitch poling. They stop, you don't. So the boat flips right over frontwards. The mast hits the water at a high rate of speed, and if you're hanging from the trapeze, you go swinging around. And my friend still can't grow hair on his leg up his shin.
That's insane.
Now the funny thing is the 18, the other boat that you saw with Cindy standing in front of it.
Yeah.
They changed the design of those, and they did not pitch pole, but they would once in a while stop in the water, back up, and then go forward again. And if they did that, chances are you were going to fall off the back of the boat because they accelerated so fast. You'd be out of balance because you're up to your armpits in water.
Jeez.
A lot of fun though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
wow.
That's an 18 there. You can see the difference in the height of the nose. So
yeah, that's right. That lower pontoon's quite a bit out of the water there.
Yeah, and the other boat, they didn't use dagger boards. These used dagger boards, and the other ones were they were shaped like an aircraft wing, so they would lift themselves. They were trying to go sideways from lift. They worked exactly like an aircraft wing.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Whereas these use dagger boards, and if you're going downwind or stuff like that, you needed to pull the dagger boards up. There was stuff you needed to do with these to make them go good.
Yeah, cool.
But they went good.
Be quite the science, right? Wow.
Oh, there's that 600 Indy again.
Yeah, that's it. That was a happy
that's
beauty.
sweet.
That was the first year of the taper tunnel on the 600.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Look at that VMAX.
So good story with that. A young guy bought it. I'm working for Honda, and I'm at Toronto Motorbike, and this guy comes in and he's banged up a little bit. He got on a set of railway tracks with this thing, and there was a switch in the railway tracks,
Yeah.
and he got stuck in the tracks, and he ejected himself.
Sled edited.
Yeah, he hurt himself. So you can see in front of the strut on the right hand side,
Yep.
you can see the white there.
That's busted.
So you got the license number 475635.
Yeah.
Then there's the strut, and then there's the white in front of the strut. Well, that's where there's some fractured plastic.
You can see the front end separated too. The cone's all broken, twisted.
The plastic got bunged up there a bit.
Yeah.
And but it was still a nice clean sled, and I bought it for next to nothing, and it was fine till it blew up.
Yeah.
But my Centurion used to wipe its tail with that thing. Even
Was
though
that
that
right, eh?
540 with twin pipes and everything else supposed to be fast. It could not. It would beat a 90s. I only tried it against one 9700, but it was up at Cashy Lake, and it was a stock sled. And this was a stock sled. This would beat the 9700, but it could not get ahead of the Centurions.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. People used to come over looking for Ron and I to race the Centurions, and we used to tease them and go, if you can't beat the VMAX, you can't race the Centurion.
Yeah, that's funny. The story about the VMAX on the train tracks, Lepoinski says he knows a story. It was a friend of his.
Oh, man. Yeah. I felt bad for the guy. I don't know how badly he was hurt. I met him he was in Toronto Motorbike.
Wow.
That's Larry fooling around with the turbo.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Pal, you got to get up here.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Look at that ski dangler.
That's my wife. I said, I'm going to take a picture of you. I just need you to come about 20 miles an hour up this little thing here. And anyhow, she doesn't snowmobile anymore.
No. It looks like a good shot, but that was totally a whoa.
Yeah, that was a thrill.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a thrill. That was an ET300.
Yeah. She narrowly missed those sticks sticking out of the snow there.
It looks like that, but there's actually a path that those sticks were probably 5 feet off the trail.
Oh, I got
right.
you. Okay, yeah.
And
there's that VMAX. Look at that. Look at the leathers too.
That's my buddy out honing the heck out of that thing at Cashy Lake, having a good time.
That looks sick. That's fast.
Yeah, it broke the ringland off. The 540 pistons, they were pretty big, and I can't recall the RPM. It might have been 80, 83, 8400. Like they turned up pretty good because they were twin pipes and stuff, and it banged it ripped the ringland right off the piston.
Jeez.
Yeah, it took a long time to get fixed. I wasn't impressed. Oh, that's
by Mount Laurier.
Yeah,
63,
Ruben's in there, the motorcycle
63.
guy. And I'm back there on the yellow one.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah,
I like those. It looks like it's got a mustache. 22s.
Yeah. I like the sled. It was a nice sled. Yeah.
Yep.
Good
First
winner.
of those.
Oh, great shot.
Holy, I love the helmet.
So the fella in the player's jacket, Harold, don't be angry with me. His name's Harold King, and he is the greatest guy. I'm in contact with him still. He used to work with Larry Van Dyke, the snow pro racer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he also worked at Kryland Marine. He also worked at Yamaha Canada, and then he's been self-employed for a number of years. So that machine was a 1983 600. So when you talk about a dream machine, he gets it, buys it brand new in the crate from Don Heron down in Thornhill, I think it was, and pulls the engine out, sells the engine to Frenchy Cloutier, and puts a 340 in it so he can run stock class.
Oh
And
man,
I go, why would you have done all? Why wouldn't you just bought a TXL Indy 340? He says, I wanted the liquid cooled brake.
really?
The 600s had liquid cooled brakes,
Interesting.
and he brand new sled, paints the hood red. I'm just dying. I'm going. He's going. He says, yeah, I bought the sled for, $5,000. I sold the engine for $3,000. And he says, I had a race sled. I had the 340 engine already. And the other guy, his name slips my mind, but he ran a 6,000L Tigra. He used to oval race that.
Yeah,
I feel bad. I forgot his name.
pretty crazy. Bruce says
we saw that one.
Bruce says, great show, guys. Really enjoyed it. I'm sure I will hear from Steve, and we will talk for hours about the good old days. And he said we were ahead of our time and proud of everything we did.
Yeah, I'll when my lights are about to go out, I can remember things I've done with Bruce. I'll never forget them.
That's
sure.
cool. Yeah, love this
I think
shot.
it was that time he got in the hot tub when it was way too hot, and he maybe had a drink or two, and I thought he was going to turn into stew. But anyhow, sorry, Bruce. Yeah, that was my son Dean. Yeah, so that actually that picture, if you go back, that shot there, do you remember the picture where we said there's the video and we were all lined up on a bridge?
Yeah, that's that bridge.
Yeah, that's a drone shot shooting back at the bridge.
That's cool.
Huh.
Yeah.
Georgian Bay.
Nice.
And that's my oldest boy with his 900R.
Oh, there's that sled.
There you go.
Shot of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Middlesex
That's the
Performance Center.
turbo. So if you look at that, I'm gonna give you a little bit of a tour of this. That airbox, that's cast aluminum.
Yep.
And you see the round discs on this side of the airbox with the holes in it?
Yeah.
Those are aluminum floor drains.
Oh, clever.
That are welded onto the airbox. On the inside of that, they might have been screwed on, but they were attached to the airbox. On the inside of that were rubber flaps, so it could run naturally aspirated.
Oh, nice.
And then once it built boost, it would slam the rubbers against those grates, and the rubbers the rubber would be peeking out of the holes, like it would deform the flap.
Holy cow.
The turbocharger had to be lubricated by an electric pump.
Mm-hmm.
So there was an oil reservoir in the sled. As a result, you couldn't run the headlight. You needed the headlight power to lubricate the turbocharger. And if you look at the carbs, you see it more on the right-hand side of all three carbs. You can see the fuel line.
Yeah.
They're coming back to spigots on the airbox.
Oh, geez. Yeah, you can see the lines running there to the airbox. Yeah.
So, because when you turbocharge the engine, you had to turbocharge the carburetor. When I say turbocharge, whatever pressure was in the airbox had to be in the carburetor, or else the carburetor couldn't work.
Yeah.
But the problem was when you let the throttle off, the boost came off the big side quick, and then the carbs were still pressured, and then they would just dump fuel into the engine.
Oh, yeah.
But the sled I can't see it. It's not in this photo. There was like a, the high-speed jet on a Tilson carburetor.
Yep.
The big old T, the T jet that you turn. There was one on the turbo as well, so you could adjust. You could fine tune the jet.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, that's great.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Clever.
Pretty sophisticated system for the time. running on a
Yeah.
fully carbureted engine with no battery or anything. It's just
Yeah.
pure force induction.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the thing, it was a thrill. It was a ton of fun. Yeah, there's
Great racing shot,
the
too.
6000 Tigra trying to get the right to race the Centurion.
Yeah, nice.
That's Wolf Mountain.
Yeah, Wolf Mountain. I was
yeah.
gonna say, recognize that anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, we know that one very well. The great rip
Yeah.
from Sportsman.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. I think we beat this pony to death.
Yeah, I think so. You just quickly flip through and see if there's.
Oh, that's a cool bridge. That's in Quebec, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
That was the shot where I said I stopped to take a picture of the trestle.
Yeah.
That was the same trip. I'm not saying that was the same day, but it was in the same group of days.
Yeah, there's the shot I was talking about.
Oh, yeah.
You guys getting ready to go skiing behind the sled.
Yeah, that's my sister Judy, and that George Loney was the guy's name from King City, and Bill Stewart is the fellow that owned the hotels, and he owned the Snow Crusher.
That's awesome.
That's that turbo sled again?
Yeah, that's Larry ripping up his stuff. Excuse me.
Look at all the dirt flying out the back too.
That thing.
See, I thought you meant he picked this up in the middle of winter and was riding it. No, like he picked this up in the middle of summer and was riding it in his feet.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Context is important there. Well, that's cool.
Yeah. So that's Ruben's cat, the motorcycle racer. Doug had a 900 Ace, naturally aspirated there in the middle, and that Enduro I had there, that was a naturally aspirated 900 Ace engine too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I had a number of those. I enjoyed them. They worked well. You know, people go.
Dean's buddy had that exact Enduro at one point too. He bought that was like one of the first years the Enduro came out.
Yeah, with
those
big bumpers
graphics
and
yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. The Enduro's got one fault, is that friggin' air shock in the back. It has no dampening.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Beats the hell out of you. I would never own one ever again.
They're good at slow speed, but at high speed it just compresses and just slaps, right? Because there's no dampener in it.
Yeah, the guy that sells boats I distribute, he's a Skidoo dealer, and he said he had an Enduro in Quebec, and he took one of those things, and he said his feet were above his shoulders. He's doing a Superman hold on to the handlebars, almost put him right over the front because they kick you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was that Georgian Bay thing where the gal was in front. That was one of the. Yeah, that was Frank. That would have been day one. The fellow that worked at De Havilland, that was him on the front. It was Harold again. Happy Harold.
Yeah.
Nice.
Those are two nice sleds there.
Man, I had so many laughs with that guy. He's an incredible.
Very cool.
Guy. Yeah. That's the Arctic.
Oh,
okay.
So you do have a picture of it. Right on.
That's the Arctic. There was a guy there. His name was Harold McAdam. Is wearing the red helmet with the white shoulders.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he worked for a magazine out on the East Coast, and he was part of the tour that they took us on. And the fella that's I'm in the middle, so the fellow that's on my right, as in standing, or our left, as looking at it, the guy beside me there, that's Tinkerbell.
Yeah.
And the Aboriginal fellow there, like he's a indigenous person from up there.
Yeah.
Billy Archie's his name. Really great guy. Yeah, really great guy.
Very cool.
And it was his father that had that friggin' hunting cabin with the infamous bucket.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my first R.
Yeah.
Nice sled. Yeah.
Very cool. So you're sold on the 4-stroke. You won't go back to 2-stroke.
I've probably owned in my lifetime, I don't know, 15 4-strokes, maybe more.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. No, I like them.
They make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I used to have an awful lot of fun with the 750 four-strokes. I mean, people wouldn't believe how good they ran. They just didn't give them any respect at all. But they had that overboost from 1990, not 1990, 2010 or 2011. It was one of those years. They had 160 horsepower for 5 seconds, and then they backed down to 140.
Yeah.
So in those 5 seconds, you could really cause some people a lot of grief.
Yeah, right.
That's a shot of Wolf Mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
There's that shot
I've seen
again.
that one, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, there's the bride. There's Gordy. Oh, so many of these people are gone now, eh?
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
That's the motorcycle racer.
Yep.
On the orange sled, and a fellow by the name of Gord Woodcroft. Gord Woodcroft's claim to fame was his claim. Every time you think you got him, you're gonna. I caught him bullshitting this time. I've got him clean, right? And he said that Steve Martin. He's the guy that used to make Steve Martin suits, the white suits.
Yeah.
The wild and crazy guy.
Yeah.
And anyhow, I was at Gord's funeral. He passed away, and you couldn't get in. There were so many people there, and the stories were coming out. And true enough, he did those suits. I was always thinking, I'm gonna catch him bullshitting at something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same time, same ride.
Yep. Yeah, cool.
That was same ride there too. That's going up. If you guys want to try something, and gals, if you want to try something really cool, that's on the Bruce Peninsula.
Oh, right on.
There are so many interesting things to see up there. Like, it's not a ride I'd want to do all the time because, like, some of it's wide open, and then there are sections that get really quite twisty. Like, there's a lot of lefts and rights and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it really should be on your must-do list once. Like, it really should. And
Good to know.
it's fantastic.
I'll repeat.
Lake Wanapitei again.
Yeah.
Moon River.
Yeah.
Georgian Bay.
Nice.
Georgian Bay.
Yeah.
The
Ice caves.
This brings us back to, I think, one of the first photos we've shown separated.
Yeah.
Classic spot there.
There you are.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's your TV set. Another TV setup.
So there's a famous story with this, and again, I know people are going to go, yeah, he's full of crap, whatever. The big joke is I lived in Snow Valley, and we had a good-sized driveway, and I would come back from a production shoot and be tired and everything else. So I've got my dually truck there, my trailer, and then a boat behind it. And I'm going, there must be some way you can back this up. And so anyhow, the joke is, and my wife's not particularly fond of my sense of humor once in a while. I told her, I said, you taught me how to do this. And she goes, how's that? Because you told me it was impossible. So anyhow, I used to go in front of my house and back that in my driveway beside the garage.
Seriously?
Oh my gosh.
And when we were in Prince Edward Island, we had people betting me that I couldn't do something with it, like to back it up. And I'll share with you why it worked. Why it worked is because the trailer hitch on the back of the trailer is probably 7 feet behind the axle.
Right.
So when you turn the trailer, it does a lot with the boat. So you just had to think your way through it. Like, you did have to think your way through it, but that trailer would swing enough that I could back the thing up.
This is legal.
Sweet. Yeah.
This can't be legal.
If it's
really?
Yeah. As long as that last trailer is a single axle, I think is what makes it legal, right?
I stopped at the Ministry of Transport, or whatever they're called, the weigh scales and stuff. And I just pulled in with that whole rig there. And the guy looks at me and he goes, what the hell are you doing? I said, well, I got to find out. I go, am I legal? And I think that was 72 feet long. and he said 75 is the limit. He said, so
Yeah.
don't tilt the engine up too high. So that engine tilted the way it is there, that would
Yep.
be over length.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Bruce, the fellow you've been hearing from.
Yeah.
In front of me. Excuse me. And the fella kneeling down worked for Yamaha Canada, so that was their first year of ATV adventures. And the other three people were my production crew people from Illusion Studio down in Niagara-on-the-Lake.
Yeah.
Great team, really, really good team.
That's my Yamaha Wolverine there, only mine's blue behind.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it was a great working ATV.
Amazing working
beast.
ATVs. You can beat the piss out of them, and they don't stop. They don't quit.
No.
Now, the one I'm leaning on there, or the one actually that Liz is on there in that next photo, the Grizzly.
Yeah.
Those things, oh man, they were air cooled. They just cooked themselves to death. That wasn't quite right. That machine.
Too much plastic. This is a classic shot. I always wish I could drive over that, but no more.
They've since removed the first, now I think, 20 feet of the bridge on each side. So you really can't.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's Sean there with his tripod and shooting down the river.
That's cool.
And Liz, she was our production assistant that kept us in line. And between Liz and Bruce's binder, we were in good shape.
That's neat. Yeah.
Oh, and that's actually the end of the photos.
That's great. Oh, that was quite the journey through your adventures there. That's awesome. Thank you, Bruce, for keeping the chat going again. That's amazing. How do people stay in touch with you? How do they follow you on socials, that type of thing? Do you encourage that?
I'm just an old fart getting through the day, having a few laughs. I mean, I don't have any. I still do some. I still do some video work. I still do some photography work, and like I tell Bill Porter, the president of Suzuki, I said, as long as it's fun, I'll do it. And if it's not fun, call someone else.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
If you ever need a Suzuki test pilot, this guy's loves the RM 125 we got.
Yeah, that's what I have, a 1994 RM 125. Yeah, that we race vintage motocross. I raced vintage.
Yeah, it's amazing how strong those 125s were, eh?
It just does. This is all I ride it. It's just this the whole time, and so far it hasn't quit. It was a basket case when we got it, but we fixed it up, wrapped it. It's pretty much a brand new bike at this point. It needs some work. I got some plans before this season of riding and racing. So, but
do you want to think of something that's kind of bizarre? Do you remember the Suzuki Gamma 500?
Yes. Yeah.
That's 4 125 cylinders.
Yeah. I remember reading about that. Yeah.
Right, and Yamaha did the same thing.
Yep.
And
the RZ and the RG and the RD.
Yeah, who the hell knows what Honda did? I don't know.
Yeah. Chris Watson says, great show, great chat. Lapoinski says, this is great, Porter. Chris Watson says, good night, all. Yeah, I won't keep you much later. I got to get to work. I got an early meeting tomorrow. But I appreciate your time and your stories, Steve. This is amazing.
Yeah, well, hopefully I didn't put too many people to sleep.
No, I don't think
No, this is really awesome.
It's been awesome. Like,
I've been known to do it.
No, it's honestly, this has been a great show. I really appreciate you and sharing your journey with us. That was awesome.
Yeah, thank you for your time tonight.
Yeah.
Well, it was nice to let you, or for you to include me so I could defrag my hard drive.
No, I'm glad I met you through Facebook. I'm glad your name popped up and got in front of my face, and it's and you took the time to come on here. I really appreciate you.
Well, it's reciprocal. Thanks very much. We're all out there fighting the good fight, trying to keep the trails open.
Yeah.
If someone doesn't mind telling the people that aren't thinking things through that they need to lose their cans, loud exhaust, they're shutting trails down.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell me that Harley's driving down the road make it fine for snowmobiles. Harley's driving on a public road. Trails are on private land.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Keep it between the stakes.
We got to be smarter than that. We have to.
like my thing. Don't be a jackass, right?
Don't.
Ron Castellut says great stories and snowmobile history. Keith says thank you for a great show. Yeah, it was a great show. Anyway, I will roll the outro, and we'll be chatting again. You're a friend of the show now. Thank you. Yeah.
That'll teach you to talk to strangers.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, thanks everybody
Good night,
for sticking with us so late, and we'll chat soon.
Okay, man.
Cheers.
Bye now.
It's a journey.